Football Park in Adelaide is again bursting in expectation as the fans support their beloved team against St Kilda on AFL Live. The Crows have their sights set on the final six. Today they walk the tightrope. A win represents consolidation, a loss disaster. In this season, there's little room for setbacks. The Saints are surely gone, even though Ken Sheldon has declared his intentions. 7 straight wins, then September. Today's the day. It's Adelaide versus St Kilda on AFL Live.
Good afternoon and welcome to Football Park in Adelaide on a fine and sunny day for a game between the Crows in the 6 and St Kilda, who are a long way out of it. Later on, there's a game at the MCG between Richmond and Footscray, and some stations will be taking a replay of that game after this live telecast from Football Park. Well, the Crows certainly need to keep winning. They've won 4 of their last 5 matches and currently in the 6, but if they lose today, they'll drop out of the top bracket. Their run home vital for the Crows. Of course, they have St Kilda today. They follow against Richmond, West Coast, then a bye, and they come home against Fitzroy, Melbourne, Hawthorn and Collingwood. So after today, 3 more home games here at Football Park. Well, St Kilda's form has been diabolical. They've lost 7 of their last 9 matches. So where do the Saints go from here? Let's take a look at the record between the two teams. St Kilda won the first 3 matches when Tony Lockett each time kicked double figures, but last year when he kicked just 3 goals, the Crows got up for their first win. Let's take a look at that record of Tony Lockett. Absolutely amazing. In 91, he kicked 12 and 10. In 92, he kicked 10 the first time and just 3 the second time. 35 goals in 4 matches against the Adelaide Crows. So we might have a shootout between the 2 full forwards. Tony Lockett today, and at the other end of the ground, a magnificent full forward this season, Tony Modra. Another great full forward is the subject of our Man of the Year this week.
McDonald's presents the Man and the Year.
When we talk of dramatic premierships, many people tend to forget the happenings of the 1971 Grand Final, a match that attracted over 118,000 people to the MCG and, because of this man, enormous publicity. In 1971, Peter Hudson was at the peak of his great VFL career. The Hawthorn full forward went into the Grand Final against St Kilda with 147 goals to his name. He needed 3 more to equal Bob Pratt's league record, 4 to break it.
The publicity was pretty enormous, but of course that was well and truly overshadowed by the publicity of the Grand Final. But it was a pretty big week for me because, I mean, I really did have 2 pretty decent things on my plate at the one time.
Today, Peter Hudson is the football and marketing manager of St Kilda, a far cry from the day the Saints turned to sinners and had Hudson in their sights.
The ball knocked away, puts the Crows in a bit of trouble. They go through, Hudson bowled over, and Hudson's hurt.
Hudson kicked 3 goals to equal Pratt's 1934 tally of 150, but on 3 occasions the chance to break it came and went.
He should kick it. Up he comes. He kicks on. But there's a hand pass to Hudson. Hudson going for a run. He steadies. He kicks. Oh my God, he's missed it. Oh, look at him.
And does he ever think of what might have been?
The great thing about footy is that as the years go by, there are certain things that you talk about over and over again, and I think that this is probably one of them. And I suppose it's a bit of a buzz to be involved in one of the most controversial things that's ever happened in footy.
Peter Hudson ended the season with 150 goals and to this day shares the record with Pratt. And in a tense final quarter, Hawthorn recovered from a 20-point deficit to take the premiership. The man, Peter Hudson. The year, 1971.
It's the name of the game.
Let's hear it for the Cameron Crows Ladies and gentlemen, once again on behalf of the Adelaide Football Club and the Adelaide Toyota dealers, welcome to Football Park, the home of the Adelaide Cameron Crows, where this afternoon with the big clash between Adelaide and St Kilda. The central field umpires are Anton McKernan and Grant Vernon, emergency field umpire Kevin Chambers, boundary umpires Darren Wilson and Matthew Starr, and goal umpires Peter Simons and Mike Nicolai. The Hungry Jacks Junior Camry Crows today, Benjamin Dearman, out on the arena at the present moment, so congratulations Benjamin. Benjamin Dearman, the Hungry Jacks Junior Camry Crows. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. For your side, the Adelaide Camry Crows. Congratulations to Andrew Jarman and Nigel Smart, 50 games up for the Adelaide Camry Crows. The Everfine boys. And please welcome to Football Park, St Kilda, the maker of the ground. And congratulations to Danny Crawley, captain of St Kilda, 200 games up for his club.
What a crowd at Football Park. The tickets were sold out the day they went on sale. So we're going to get very close to 50,000 here, Jared. What an afternoon we're set for.
Well, it should be a good game. I believe the Saints match up quite well against the Crows, so this isn't a lay-down misère that the Crows will win despite their home ground advantage. Of course, one of the biggest battles of the day will be at full forward for St Kilda. Ben Hart will tackle the man mountain himself, Tony Lockett. We heard Drew go through the figures before that Tony Lockett's kicked 35 goals against this side. Adelaide has mustered only 38. Last year, Lockett's 3 goals and they were defeated. So perhaps if you can beat the man mountain areas on screen, you certainly will go a long way to beating St Kilda. And there's the Adelaide combination. Well, interesting that they have one loss. Anderson is out of the selected side, and in came Wiedemann. Pittman and Swert also in, Maynard and Robram, who broke bones last week, and they have exposed one of Adelaide's weaknesses in the key position. And looking at St Kilda's side, they've made a number of changes also. Martin Heppel is in for his debut game. He comes from Carey Grammer, Mark Dwyer, Peter Everett and Brett Bowie also in. Winmar, a late withdrawal. Greg and Whitman out injured.
And there's Tony Lockett. What will he kick today? Spud Forley, the skipper of St Kilda, celebrates his 200th game today at Football Park. It should be a beauty. We'll be back shortly for the opening bounce.
And Eddie Melee, the team manager, right on the ball, giving us the 2 interchange players for St Kilda. They are 18, Brett Bowie, and 28, Craig O'Brien. So 18, Brett Bowie, and 28, Craig O'Brien. The Tom McKean and Grant Vernon, the two umpires, being joined by Danny Pooley, captain of St Kilda, and Chris McDermott, the captain for Adelaide. The toss to elect ends in his vital clash here at Football Park today. Danny Pooley wins the toss, so he's elected to kick to the southern end of the ground.
In the sunshine here at Football Park in Adelaide, down on the boundary line, Max Stevens. Max?
Beautiful day here in Adelaide, Drew, and you can tell by the way I'm squinting that we're in for a ripper. Let's have a look at the wind first up, and it's about 10 k's blowing down the ground, left to right of screen. Goal advantage would suggest, well, Jared Healy tells me 2 to 3. The forecast fine, but cloudy at times. The expected top 14, current temperature we've already reached at 14 degrees, humidity 62%, and the ground, well, we reckon it is in excellent condition here at Football Park.
Now, you're not going to surprise us. You will be going for the home side?
No, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going for St Kilda today, purely because of the injuries forced upon the Crows, and also Stuart Lowe and Tony Lockett. I think they'll be the difference between Adelaide winning or losing. So St Kilda, I'm afraid, fellas.
Well, we have recorded that. That will go in a time capsule, and in a century's time, they'll be playing that back, that Maxie actually tipped the opponents in Adelaide. Afternoon for the first time this afternoon to Dennis Cometti.
Yes, good afternoon, Drew. Well, he's shaking me now. I was going to go for Adelaide, no problem at all, but, well, Max has jumped off. I think the Crows will still win this because Nicky Winmar is missing for the Saints, and I think that perhaps balances the ledger.
Andrew Jarman playing his 50th game, starts on the bench with Wayne Wiedemann, and interchange for St Kilda are Bowie and O'Brien. Umpires today, Anton McKernan and Grant Vernon. So we get underway, and Bingham, little soccer out of the middle. It comes to Devonport of St Kilda. The Saints going left to right with the breeze in the first quarter. Scott Lee gets back there to take the mark for the Crows.
Nathan Burke got the big job on Tony McGuinness, and a very good tagger at that. Tony in for a tough day.
Wren just gets the hand pass away. Liptak can't keep the ball in. It's out on centre wing. And very early in the telecast, the curtain raiser today was the final of the Commonwealth Bank Cup, formerly the Teal Cup Under-17 Championship. Victorian Metropolitan defeated South Australia by 6 goals in the grand final.
Free kick to the Saints. Interesting, Pittman in starting at centre half back. He's on low. Hart's got the job on Lockett. Meantime, on the outer side, this is Shaw with the free kick just forward of left centre wing. Bright sunny day. Gusting breeze. Kick towards the 50-metre line. The target was Lockett. Hart in trouble. Visca dives after it. Hart comes back and wins it. Lee, the hand pass towards the boundary. Devonport chips in. It's Taylor at the base of the pack, and the ball up. Wiedemann and Jarman. Andrew Jarman doing the stretching there.
Greg Anderson down there, who was a late withdrawal. He came off the ground during training during the week.
And the ball is out of bounds. Another sellout crowd, as Drew was saying.
It looks like Beckley has the big job on Harvey for St Kilda. Both have been in pretty good form. Very good players.
Pittman and Lowe. It's Shaw again. Feeds it out to Harvey. Harvey from 45 metres. Floats one towards the top of the square. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Hart knocked it out. Rashudo. Schwert can't control it. Everett tries to knock it forward. Anderson goes off the ground, but it's going to be a free kick for Shaw. For Shaw. He's got the free about 30 metres out on a very slight angle.
Yes, young Damon Shaw is from St Peter's in Bentley, and a club that has produced also Luke Beveridge, junior football club, many young players.
Kicks. Looks pretty good. No, just slid away. And this is to the near side. It will be tricky going for goal. The breeze is picking up, and there's the dugout for the Saints.
Kick in towards the outer side. Rashudo out, number 2 to 1. Off hands to Lowe. He bangs it back to goal. Offline and a behind. Looking all right for a moment. The kick by Stewie Lowe off the left.
He represents a big danger for the Crows, Stuart Lowe. Powerful man at centre half forward, and certainly would outclass Pittman on paper if not on the ground.
This is up towards centre wing. Crows going forward into the breeze, and they'll take a free kick back at half-back. A quiet, hushed crowd here at the moment. Matthew Liptak to take the free. Right half-back flank for the Crows. It holds up in the breeze, but still gets to half-forward. Hurried kick by Anderson goes out of bounds on the full, and another free kick to Liptak.
Here's McDermott kicking down towards half forward. They can test run on the 50-metre line. Bone was taken high. No free kick. Ball jarred loose. This is Rowe deep in the pocket. Pulls it back across his body and misses to the near side. Stephen Rowe, 16 goals for the season. Second best for the Crows. Of course, behind Tony Nodra. A point the difference. Interesting, Pittman hasn't played much footy in recent weeks. He's been on the bench for his club side. Gets the job on Stewie Lowe. Hardly the preparation. Kick into play. It comes behind. Missed by Rashudo. And it comes to Anderson, who boots it down towards half-forward Lee. So often in the right position. There's the man we were speaking of. Pittman feeds it off to Hart. Ben Hart goes around the outer side. Little chip pass. Bone's got it on the wing. Now Bone can go. Kicks it down towards half forward. McGuinness had a task there, and Hollow comes across and claims the mark.
Half back for the Saints. Goes short to Dwyer, and he's just about at centre half back. The hand pass back to Rice. We see him back playing footy this year. Kicked by Rice short of half forward. Punch discipline from behind. The hand pass comes out but intercepted by Dwyer. Thumps it long. Lockett a chance. Not this time. Needs the recovery. He's got it. Big plugger. Goes back with the hand pass to Lowe. 45 metres out. Nobody in the goal square. It's offline. And misses to the right. No score. We'll have a throw in.
Well, not only has St Kilda got Tony Lockett down on the forward line, they also have Big Everett. He's been picked up by Jamison and probably has a 6 or 7 inch advantage on him in height.
Everett hooks it behind. Shaw dragged down. And the ball up.
So St Kilda going with a fairly tall forward line, trying to expose the Crows. Have a noted key position weakness. With those two players out injured, of course, Robram and Maynard, that's even more pertinent.
Taylor kicks it behind. Quick thinking, just missing. So the Saints lead by 2 points, doing most of the attacking. Ben Hart chips it in short. Jamison up from the back pocket, swings it out wide to accommodate Schwert. A chance to go over the top. He wanted to. It was well played. Closed down on the mark by Rice. He boots it eventually towards the wing. Grant, the leaper, almost the mark. Rowe did well to Wren, to Bone. Infield it comes. Rashudo's got the run of it down towards half forward. Crows everywhere. Smart picks it up. He's 40 metres from goal. Tregenza, question of accuracy. Goes Goldwood, gets it. First goal of the afternoon to the Adelaide Crows.
Yes, lots of running there from Simon Tregenza coming off the wing. He's being picked up by Tim Pekin, a noted controller of the AFL. There's Bone getting the handball out. I thought there perhaps was a little throw here. What do you think on that one? But Smart delivers a handball and gets converted.
Nathan Burke is running with McGuinness, as most of us thought would happen. There goes Burke in, trying to apply the tackle. Dwyer gets the hand pass out. Burke kicks back into the pack. They struggle to get it out of the middle, but Harvey eventually does. Wide to Pekin. Kicked by Pekin. Lockett in front. Well, there was nothing Hart could do about that. How do you get around Tony Lockett when he's got a break on you and the ball is delivered like that?
Yes, it was good delivery, but the important thing for St Kilda was winning the ball out of the centre. Burke got in there, did a bit of hard work, as did Harvey, who got the handball out to the running Pekin and spotted Tony Lockett.
Lockett's first shot for goal for the afternoon. Will he get back to the double figures goal kicking form that he showed in the first 3 games against the Crows? This kick is offline, away to the right, behind. Home crowd, as you would expect.
Yes, well, both the St Kilda shots at goal so far have missed to the right of the right-hand goal post. Perhaps that wind just squirting into the forward pocket there somewhat.
Here's Ben Hart out of the back pocket. Jamison, good grab. Thought about going, elects not to. Midway between the lines, half back and centre. Only Jamison. Floats one down towards half forward. Smart the leaper, fisted away by Grant. It's a nice matchup as far as the Saints are concerned. Devonport didn't have the ball. Close to the boundary line. Pekin can't control it. And it will be tossed in.
Sean Wren is spending a lot of time at the moment deep in defence for the Crows with Everett and Lockett there. He's trying to lend support in the high department.
Shaw has been active. Boots it down towards half forward. This man has been in the thick of the action to Lee. It'll be a relayed free kick. Liptak will take it down the ground, wasting no time. Lays it into the path of the leading Hodges. Bone runs on, but Hodges will shoot at goal from just inside the 50. This is no gimme. The breeze coming into his face.
There it is on screen out front, taking an easy chest mark.
Scott Hodges then. Kicks from right on the 50. Tucks it left. It stays left. And just clears the line down there for a behind. So the Saints continue to lead. Or rather, Adelaide lead by 4 points. Oops.
The only goal scorer, Simon Tregenza. Danny Frawley, the 200th player in the VFL AFL to reach 200 games. Straight up the middle he goes. Wren flies but can't take the mark. McDermott's hand pass. In a hurry, the ball hoisted high. That was by Schwert. Centre half forward, not taken by Liptak. Pekin goes back to Burke. Pops it round the corner, over the top. Out to centre wing. Good tackle applied down there, but the Crows have it. Lee, trouble for Tregenza. Smart overruns. Tregenza keeps it going forward off the toe. Rashuto, good pick up. Left foot centering kick. Mark to Hodges. Well, they're working pretty well into the breeze, the Crows, and it's interesting that so far Modra nearly hasn't been off the goal line. And
yeah, he's an impressive player, young Rashuto, and that snap to the centre of the forward area was good percentage stuff.
Scott Hodges for the second goal of the game. Again he's left. Comes back but too late.
Well, it did come back a long way after the ball went through over the goal line, so it just gives an indication of the strength of that breeze, particularly when it gets up above the level of the grandstand.
Crows lead by 5 points. Frawley, member's side with a kick. It falls in short. Hollow, almost the mark. This is Grant. Could have been holding the ball. It was held to him, says the umpire. Well, it seemed he fumbled the hand pass, but umpire Vernon will bounce it down right on the 50. Bingham and Bone. McDermott gets it down, taken by Rowe, measures the hand pass, releases Schwert, who boots it down towards the pocket. Here comes Hodges again. Well done by Frawley, great courage. And nice work by Hollow to come away. Hollow from centre half back, drives it out towards the wing. Pekin has it fisted away by Tregenza, and it's out of bounds. So Tregenza has started well, having a fine season. And to throw in on the wing, 1-3, plays 4 behinds, and the Saints have the breeze. They need to get a move on here. Bingham and Wren wrestle. Bickley tries to soccer off the ground, and the umpire will bounce it.
So far, McDermott, 1 kick and 1 handball only. He had 40 possessions last week, and it's Mick Dwyer keeping him quiet today. Lee, good hand pass. Bickley. Bickley's kick to half forward. Liptak in front. Goes back quickly to Rashuto. Out to McGuinness in a bit of space. Pass looks good. Modra stumbles. At the back of him, Hodges. Modra goes towards the goal square. Hodges kick no distance. Modra still after this. It bounces away from him out of bounds.
Well, the battle between Modra and Frawley should be a good one. Of course, Danny Frawley has the ascendancy this year because he did outclass him in the State of Origin game, one of the few Victorians to win their battles. So it's a chance now for Modra to get back.
St Kilda free kick from the boundary throw-in to be taken by Bingham. Goes towards the outer side. Despite the ticket sales, there were a few empty seats when the game actually started, but there's not one left now. Wren does particularly well. What a pickup by Rowe. His pass kept in low for Modra. They double team him. Off hands, lip tack. Got boot to ball. It just misses to the left.
And a great lunging tackle there from Dean Rice. When all looked lost, he still put in the quick steps and threw himself at Matthew Liptak. Saved his club a goal.
Great tackle. Members side. Free kick in front to Grant. Advantage is paid now. Pickens away. A second bounce carries him past the wing. The legs not to bounce again. He kicks it high down towards Lockett. Lockett and Hart. The defender did well. Everett surrounded. McDermott tries to slap it out. Rashudo's in there. Great desperation on the ground. Eventually the ball came out from Shaw, but that wasn't his intention. The hand pass from Pittman sends Visca away. He boots it back towards the centre square. Up comes Bone. Gathers it nicely. Not intended for Shaw, or rather Smart, but Smart did nicely to gather the ball and put it towards half forward and Rowe. Crumbs to McGuinness. 75 metres from goal. Looks for Modra. Frawley goes back. Frawley's got the recovery. In trouble. Close quarters to Rice. Dragged off it. Frawley thought about soccering. Gathers the ball. Now he's in trouble. Holding the ball. Well, he should have socked.
Isn't that a great way to see a full forward win a kick for goal?
Good strong tackle.
Let's just have a look at the way he disposes of it, Dennis. Just lets it go. Perhaps should have just put the foot on, but good second effort from Modra, who tackled Frawley a second or two previously and bounced up and did it again, and should start with a goal.
So Tony Modra, 74 goals this season, 95 for his career. Set to become the first Adelaide Crow to kick 100 goals. It could happen today. It's close to the man on the mark. He's missed to the near side. Not very good.
Yes, with the wind playing havoc at both ends of the ground. Noted goal kickers are missing. And with St Kilda setting up with a big, tall forward line, it may work against them, because the wind often cuts tall players down to size.
1 goal, 9 between them. Frawley with the breeze, clears the pack. It's going to be an Adelaide free. And pushed out was Wren. Nobody standing the mark. Wren to full forward. Modra and Frawley. Man in front. Bingham. Free kick to Modra right in front.
So Danny just dropped the hand over the shoulder behind the pack. And here it is on screen. Certainly doesn't appear to be a great deal in it.
So Tony Modra, he's right in front, and he's only 25 metres from goal. Surely he'll kick this. The Crows have the only 2 goals, and they're going into the breeze. It's 2-5 to 4 behind.
Yes, I thought a lucky one there to Modra, who's only kicked 8 goals in the last 3 games. Although he got 5 last week, which got him back into some form. And I think St Kilda are due to make a change. They've got to get perhaps one of the taller blokes off from the forward line. Brett Bowie now up on the bench, on the boundary line, preparing to come on.
Well, the Saints have got some problems here at Football Park. The margin is out to 13 points. There's the time remaining in the first term. The Saints using the breeze as Anderson digs it out of the centre down towards half forward. Pittman, who's doing well at the present time on low, claims the mark. Feeds Jamison, who boots it out wide, intended for Schwert. Has to go. Devonport over the top. It comes to McGuinness now. Hard against the boundary. Pulls it back. Intended for Smart. Grant is there too. Smart does well at close quarters, just behind Bickley. And it runs away and goes out of bounds. As if on cue, more pace about to be introduced. Bowie waiting to come on. And Everett is coming off. Well called, Jared, as the kick comes down from Anderson towards half forward. Again, South Australia Crows go back towards their 50-metre line, but the mark is held by Rice. So just watching Everett come off. And Bowie will go on the forward line. Meantime, Rice chips in short, taken by Bingham. This is Hollow. Running towards the wing and kicking towards half forward. The Crows have got the numbers down there. It runs free behind. We've got a whistle, I fancy. It's coming back. And and it's going to be an Adelaide free kick.
Wren goes towards the outer side. How does the player get this much space? Mark Bickley has it here. Inside half forward. Bone. Let it bounce, it's all right. Smart. Hoists it very high. Hodges and Modra both there. Frawley threads it through. Oh, they just get out of trouble, but they're not out of trouble. They kick the Bone. Martin Heppel, a kid in his first game, an 18-year-old, could not clear the area.
And there's a present for you, straight from young Heppel. He just threw the ball onto the boot under some pressure. Obviously, in his first game, he would have had a lot of people saying, just get the ball and kick it, son. So you've got to avoid the opposition.
Into the breeze, 45 metres out. Bone. Oh, good kick. 3 goals to nothing, the Crows. Five to 4 behind.
Good start to the Adelaide Crows. They're playing for a spot in the final 6, and you'd expect them to come out blazing. But playing into this win, sometimes you would. It takes a while to settle down, but they're doing it well. They're not winning the ball out of the centre, however, an area they could improve on.
So the margin 19 points. Back in the middle, Bingham goes down towards half forward. Bowie on the ground, gets a fickle bounce low to Bowie. Little chip pass in short, and this is Taylor. Taylor right on the 50, sets it up for Lockett going back. He should mark this. Visca bearing down, but Lockett's taken the mark. That's a glance across at Visca.
Got his number.
He's filed it away, and now Tony Lockett goes on the angle, but should get this one.
Yes, Ben Hart caught out of position here. It was a good kick in. And it was good to see Ben Hart just giving Visca a tap on the bottom at the end of that, saying, thanks for coming over to lend assistance. It wasn't successful, but great to see that team play.
So the Saints needing a goal here. Lockett from about 10 metres. Rams it through. St Kilda get their first goal after a string of behinds. It's 1-4 to 3-5, just over 8 minutes till quarter time.
On the roof, a couple of bounces and out into the car park.
Well, once again, it was another centre bounce clearance to St Kilda that started this move. Lawrence Bingham won the tap, and he's done that quite successfully against quality opposition so far. Got it out himself, his own kick, and Lockett finishes with a goal.
Bingham beats Wren in the middle, goes to Visca. He goes to ground from Anderson. It was going to be a free advantage. Bickley. Long ball to half forward. That's a great kick into the breeze. Chance for Rowe, taken by Liptak. The Crows playing well. Liptak, he's out, ball's in, but eventually the hand pass is blocked and the ball is out. About 60 metres out from goal. Crows back into attack. They lead 3-5 into the breeze. St Kilda 1-4. Bingham wrestling with Bone. Devonport just gets boot to ball. Dwyer takes the mark at centre half back. Kicked by Mick Dwyer. Won the reserves best and fairest, the Gardner medal last year, but came back in the finals for St Kilda. And here's Wren getting back and doing the job beautifully in defence. Oh, poor kick. Bounced straight through the St Kilda player in midfield. Now it's a scrap for it near the centre circle, and the umpire is going to say it's a St Kilda free kick. And it comes to Grant. And a 50-metre penalty.
Casual by Rashudo, and the 50 was there. It's a bad throw coming back.
And with this strong blustery wind going down the centre, he'll certainly come within kicking distance. In fact, he's going to finish only 40 metres out from goal.
Really unforgivable from Mark Rashudo. So now David Grant should go for home. They trail by 13 points after they won the toss. Elected to run on the breeze. Grant kicks and kicks truly. St Kilda 2-4, Adelaide 3-5.
Well, that was David Grant's third goal for the season. Not a noted goal kicker, although in his junior days I believe he came to St Kilda as a full forward. Started the season with a thumb injury, I believe. He broke a bone in his hand. This is a quality shot at goal.
We're back in the middle. Wren wins this time. Comes back into the centre circle. Devonport sweeps up for the Saints. High ball with the breeze inside the 50. Oh, that's almost a mark. Pittman trying to spoil Lowe, but Lowe nearly grabbed it in with the buckets. Burke to Devonport, hurriedly onto the boot, but offline. But he did well to get foot to leather so quickly. Behind to the Saints.
St Kilda continuing their dominance in the centre bounces. Taken the ball away every time this afternoon.
And Lowe was a bit stiff not to get a free, I thought. He was hard to bring it in. Very high towards Pittman. They've got the numbers on the outer side. Two big men, Pittman and Wren, hacked out of midair by McGuinness though. Neither of the big men could claim the mark, and the ball runs towards the boundary line. Will it stay in? No, just helped across by Dean Rice. It'll be thrown in. Big day this for the Crows. If they can win, they really can consolidate their place in the top 6. And the finals, definitely looming. Wren gets it down. Bickley having a wonderful season, pulls it back across his body. The flyer down there was Heppel. Still he goes. Heppel over the ball. Can't get it out. Bones got him. And a bounce on the outer side. Midway between right centre wing and right half forward for the Crows, who lead by 6 points. Approaching quarter time. Bone in front. Bingham knocks it down. McDermott, who's been pretty quiet by his standards, is slung. Just the 2 possessions so far.
Well, he's a player that you must respect in this combination. I believe he gets the Crows running. And there's the centre break statistics showing Adelaide clearly down in that area.
Belying the score at the present time. Schwert, the hurried kick out wide. Weiss goes back. He's got some toe. Pulls it back across his body. 1 of 2 can go for this one. Nicely done by Peake and cleared a path for Dwyer. He runs to the ball alongside the centre circle. A bit slow. Great chase from Smart. Effected the kick. Rashudo knocks it out. It's picked up by McGuinness. Arches the back. Gets past the tackler. Swings it out wide. McDermott has it now on the wing. McDermott goes down towards right half forward. Bones the target. Almost the juggled mark. Hollow slaps it away. It's picked up by Harvey. Taken high. And Harvey will get the free. And like McDermott, this is another playmaker who's been quiet so far. Only his 3rd possession upcoming. Harvey chips it in short. Bingham has the ball just forward of half back. Playing his 3rd game, or rather his 21st game for the Saints. He played 3 for Hawthorn. Down to Lowe. And now it's Shaw, close to the boundary line, goes looking for Lockett on the lead. Strong mark.
Damon Shaw's done pretty well. He's had 8 possessions already in the first quarter, playing just his 5th league game, a 19-year-old.
And if he keeps delivering them to Tony Lockett like that, he'll go a long way at St Kilda. Beautiful disposal on the left foot. Pinpoints big Plugger. He'll go to the head of the list of Plugger's favourites.
Lockett's kicked 1 goal 1. Straight kick here will level the scores. Not quite enough for the Saints, who have a decent breeze in the first term. Away to the right. It's been a common miss. Lockett 1 goal 2. 5 points the margin. The Crows in front.
The flags at the top of the stand at that end of the ground clearly indicate that the wind is just favouring that pocket right of screen at the present time. Players will have to adjust when they're shooting for goal. Aim more for the left-hand goal post.
Well, they need some system to kick into this breeze from full back, and Lee wasn't sure which way to go. Towards the outer side, Pekin flew, couldn't take the mark. A real mess of players in there. Bickley, 26, fighting hard for it. Spills out to Pekin. His hand pass to Harvey. Harvey grabbed when he didn't have it. Will take a free kick. Robert Harvey, who won the E.J. Whitten medal against South Australia in the state game, 2nd year in a row. Short pass to Lowe. He can't take the mark. Here's Jamison.
In desperate trouble. Bowie got him. This is Shaw. Well done. Bowie, quick hands, gets it away. The kick comes from Lowe. Going back is Lockett. Crashes into the post. He touched the ball. In any case, it may have been going off target. I'm not sure whether, in fact, it would have gone for a behind. That is not now. It was touched across the line. Kick comes in from Hart. This is Visca. He's at left half back. Visca. Well, plenty of confidence shown there. Boots the ball towards centre half forward. It's vacant. Smart will arrive first. Gathers the ball brilliantly. In trouble. Gets it to Liptak. Spears the pass in. Juggled Mark Modra. Terrific grab. Normally he takes those with one bite, but that time it was coming so quickly. It was a terrific effort to control it down and take it in two.
Yes, and the Crows turned defence into attack very well. They're coming from a kick out. Good work from Nigel Smart there, and a spearing kick. It was a delight to watch from Liptak.
Modra has one. Kicking at his second here. If he gets it, the lead will be 10 points Adelaide's way. Modra's kick looks pretty good. Hangs in the breeze, but it's got the carry. It's home. 4-5 plays 2-7.
Well, Modra won't keep missing all day, and that one just showed what a good goal kicker he is. Kicking it into a fairly solid bruise. And here we see the ball just coming down from defence into the forward line. Nigel Smart, good fend off there. Poor tackle from Devonport. Cost them goal.
Wren hands to the ball, but Dwyer got it out for St Kilda up towards half forward, and a solid mark taken by Rasciuto. He comes out wide towards centre wing. Liptak has been prominent, a lively player. Matthew Liptak up towards half forward. Bone comes from behind, didn't reach it. Rowe is in there. Umpire said the ball was held to him, and he'll ball it up. We're in time on in the first quarter, and the Crows lead by 10 points at Football Park. Very handy lead. They'll run with the breeze in the second term. Rowe was clean bowled by that one. Soccer off the ground by Harvey. The hand pass in. Once again, that came from Damon Shaw. And the ball out of play once more. Shaw, number 39 for St Kilda. Played 21 games in the reserves last year for the Saints. Got his chance this time. Hickley sees the ball out. It's a half forward for the Saints. And time running out for further scores in the first quarter. Lowe and Pittman corners. High tackle, and the free kick will go to the Crows, to be taken by Visca.
He breaks away, boots it down towards centre half forward. Smart works his way in front. Hollow in from the side, knocked it away. Heppel in trouble. There's the siren for quarter time. A free kick was going to be paid to the Crows. Too far out to score, though. They won't bother with it. 4-5-29 to 2-7-19 at quarter time. So a terrific, it could be a match-winning opening term by the Adelaide Crows, working into the breeze.
The name of the game is Australia.
Quarter time at Football Park, and the Crows, running into the breeze, have a lead of 10 points. 4-5-29 to St Kilda, 2-7-19. Modra has 2 goals, one each to Tregenza and Bone. And for St Kilda, Lockett and Grant have been the goal scorers. Well, prior to today's game, the grand final of the what was formerly the Teal Cup, the Commonwealth Bank Cup final, was played here between South Australia and Victorian Metropolitan. And the Vics had a victory there by 6 goals, but at one stage South Australia got to within 17 points in the last quarter and certainly made a game of it. But a lot of the stars of the future, the Breretons and all sorts of players, Gary Lyons, have come through Teal Cup, and we'll take a report on that during our football telecasts next weekend of the grand final there. Another game being played today at the MCG. Some stations will be taking a replay of that after this live telecast, so if you don't wish to know the score of the game between Richmond and Footscray, look away now. Ken Sheldon having a special word there with Robert Harvey. Max Stevens has been out there. Max.
Well, Ken Sheldon wants them to tighten up this quarter. He said they must definitely tighten up, otherwise Adelaide could take control and run away with this game. Just an update on that wind. It's now starting to blow. It's still going down the ground, left to right of screen, but it's favouring the members' side, a northwesterly. And Nicky Winmar not taking his place in the side today due to a groin injury.
Away we go in the second term then, and the Saints with the job in front of them. McDermott gets the hand pass away. This is Tregenza on his knees. And now Rashuto goes back to McGuinness. Harvey is there. This will be interesting. Plenty of talent, but Burke comes in, gets it across to Harvey. Harvey to chip pass just inside the boundary line. Down goes Lowe. And the umpire says a push in the back. Crowd don't like it, but Stewie Lowe working his way in front and rewarded. From 65 metres out into the breeze. Wren tried to spoil, then tried to claim a mark. It's taken by Lockett. That would be the impossible goal. The breeze pushes it away from goal. Picked up by Biscuit. Gets by Burke the second time. And out of defence, puts it back towards the wing. Back goes Heppel with courage. Leads back in the race as well. Lunging, despairing hand pass, gets it away. Well done. Hollow finds Devonport. Devonport right on the wing then. 2-7. Plays 4-5. Despite the fact the Saints had the breeze, they trail, intended for Lowe. And Wren gets it towards the boundary line. It will be tossed in.
Interesting to note that Ken Sheldon wanted his players to tighten up, and yet he really hasn't got an assigned player for Tony McGuinness. Nathan Burke and Harvey are both interchanging off him, but if you allow him to run free, he'll just chop you up. Bigly to McGuinness, and here's McGuinness popping one over the top. Jamison the hand pass. Oh, lightning. That Schwert back to the runner going past Rashuto, but his kick is astray, and Grant dives to mark. Comes out towards the members' wing. Devonport just in time. Andrew Jarman warming up on the boundary line, preparing to come on. As he does now, Rowe comes off. Andrew Jarman, a hero here at Football Park, playing his 50th game today in the AFL. From behind, Visca takes a good mark. Well, they beat the Saints by 10 points in the first quarter into the breeze. What will happen this term? Kicked by Visca. A good 60 metres to the 50 line. Hodges had hands to it, but couldn't take the mark. Devonport waited for it, and he was lucky the ball went out of bounds. So Rowe goes to the bench. Greg Anderson in the blazer there, not playing today. And Wiedemann hasn't had a run as yet. Smart with a big leap. Comes over the top. St Kilda get out of trouble. And that was the kick from young Heppel. The ball's now out of bounds in between half-back and centre wing. It's going to be McDermott, who was kept to just 4 possessions in the first quarter.
Centering kick. Modra the target. He's up in front. Jarman drops it behind. The presence of mind to give it to Pittman. To Hodges. Open goal. Adelaide a 5-5 and the Saints a 2-7.
I think that's the future for Andrew Jarman in this side. Creative handball deep in the forward line. He did interchange with Rowe, who is a pretty good forward pocket, an important player for the Crows. He's a very intelligent player and set that goal up with his intelligent roving.
So it's out to 16 points now, and still plenty of wind-assisted time for Adelaide. So the test squarely with the Saints. Can they stay with Adelaide as the ball comes down towards the half-forward line? Rice picks it up, kicks into Wren, the man who got the ruck knock initially. Rice gets it to Bingham, across to Dwyer. Dwyer's probing kick inside the 50. In from the side, Jamison did well. Bowie's got the run of it now. Crashing into him is Lee. Bowie with courage wins it back. Hart dives on top of him, and a whistle. We're talking about the Saints going with the Crows. Adelaide's most productive quarter this year has been their second. They averaged 30 points. That's third best in the AFL behind Geelong and Essendon. And the Saints' best second term all season, 34 points against Collingwood in round 4. A scramble in the pocket. Bowie's got the ball. Jamison got him. The umpire decides he wants it.
Round 4, that was when Winmar went so well, and it was when he had his contract dispute. They didn't go so well, and he's missing again today. So it's really been no Winmar, no St Kilda this season. Jamison up short of centre wing. Liptak does well, feeds the little hand pass just in time. Tregenza set Bone up for a bit of trouble. Off the ground goes Rice, has time to steady. Not a great kick away. Schwert charged straight at it and gets it back from Bone. Out in front of Tregenza. They're running amok. Tony McGuinness, breeze behind him, 45 metres out, goal. To 2-7, and these alarm bells which are ringing are pretty loud in my ears.
Yes, and Robert Harvey would have to be one of my favourite players, but Tony McGuinness is a player you just must keep in control. They have a player out there, Nathan Burke, St Kilda, who is particularly suited to the job, and I would have given it to him from the word go. Harvey can play in the centre or up forward. Whilst I understand it gets a tag away from Harvey, you must control McGuinness.
22 points the margin. Uncontested. It's slapped out of there by Wren. Bone, Jarman, terrific hand pass. Liptak, look out. That was within about 10 seconds of the centre bounce.
Well, certainly a double whammy. And it just brings the question to the forefront. Should a shocking bounce like that we just saw from the umpire be recalled? Because Wren had certainly the advantage there. But never mind, the Crows won it well out of the centre for only the third time this afternoon and topped it off with a beautiful goal to Liptak.
So in the blinking of an eye, it's out to 28 points now, just under 20 minutes till half-time. Burke, Harvey, and now Devonport down towards half-forward. The Saints need a goal here. This is Shaw. He's a very composed left footer. Sets it up for Lockett. Good grab in front. And a very good kick coming in. So Lockett has kicked one. That makes it 52 so far this season. He's played 9 complete games. This is his 10th of the season. His best haul, 11 against Brisbane in round 11.
We saw there Ben Hart trying to come over the top of Tony Lockett. But when he sticks his big backside out, it's very difficult to make the distance required, and perhaps he should have just aimed at whacking one of Lockett's elbows, breaking the grab.
This to keep it a contest. He's got it. Lockett gets his second, and the Saints get their third.
Well, one out of the centre here by St Kilda. They went round the corner. Devonport's kick a little astray, but another lovely kick from the new boy coming there for St Kilda, and it was a beautiful delivery to Tony Lockett once again. Left footers seem to have an advantage in this game.
Bingham faces Wren. Wren all over him. Liptak has been sensational. Round the corner, long bomb. Thumped out. That was good defence by Shanahan. Frawley waits. Smart. There's Frawley. Well done, Danny Frawley. Harvey in a tight spot. Well played, Robert Harvey. Very high ball. It sits up. Dwyer. His kick up short of centre wing. Wren playing it like a rover. Balks a hand pass. Goes to centre half forward. It comes to Dwyer. Steers it low into the breeze to Stewie Lowe. His hand pass back. Devonport. Well, it was nowhere near Lockett, but he might have a second chance after the fumble. Bowie's there. Flicks it up to Lockett. They're out of it now. The hand pass comes back from Shaw to Devonport. His kick is offline behind.
Well, David Shaw is just continuing to impress everybody here at the ground, I'm sure, and at home. 11 possessions, and most of them effective. Very skillful player with that left foot. He's got the advantage in the evasive skills.
Looks all class. Here's another youngster. 10-19 on Friday. Ben Hart boots it in Member's side. Bingham reaches over the top. It comes back to him. Gets it away. This is Devonport. The Saints looking better now from 52 metres out. He kicks towards the top of this square. Back goes Lee. Gets a fist on it and punches it against the goalpost.
There's no lead forthcoming there from St Kilda. I'm sure Devonport just propped there for a second, looking for an option. In the end, had to bomb away.
Margin back to 20 points. Bright sunny day here in Adelaide at Football Park. Capacity crowd, and the Crows playing pretty good footy at the moment. Rashudo goes towards the wing. In front, lip tack, held without it. He'll get the free kick. He's a key player for them.
He's coming up for his 10th possession.
When he plays well on the forward line, it adds another dimension. He kicks it down towards centre half forward. Jarman was run over. Down went Hodges. McGuinness kicks into Hodges. It ricochets across to Pittman. He releases it, looking for Jarman. It was smashed away there by Taylor, taken by Grant. He was legged. Still he goes, in trouble. This is Harvey out of his own defensive area, but straight to Bickley, who measures the kick, goes from 40 and is wide.
Good pressure there from the Crows forward line, keeping that ball in, putting Harvey under pressure. Almost resulted in a turnover goal to Bickley.
.21 points the margin. Danny Frawley facing an avalanche, facing the breeze. The kick just reaches 50, that's all. It's thumped forward. Dwyer swamped. McGuinness has got it. Snap! Offline, out of bounds on the full. McGuinness, one goal earlier this quarter when he got on the end of a terrific chain through the middle by the Crows. McGuinness 10 possessions. McDermott still only 5. Kicked by Frawley towards the outer side. Harvey coming into it in the second term. Harvey's kick up short of centre wing. Bickley took the mark. That made it pretty tough that time for Shaw.
Gets it away. Rashudo long inside the 50. In front, Shanahan. He's played a free kick. Shanahan goes very short. Anderson plays on too slow. Run down from behind by the big man Bone. Unforgivable. A lack of talking though.
Bone-jarring tackle.
All that and more. So a bounce just inside the 50. 7-6 to 3-9. The Crows in front. Wren. Eventually it comes to Schwert, to Tregenza. Tregenza in trouble. Picked up by Bone. Bone boots it towards the kickoff line. Hodges in front, and Lockett is limping off the ground for the Saints. The drama away from the action at the present time. Tony Lockett, 2 goals this afternoon, is coming off the ground, and this is a body blow for St Kilda. Meantime, Scott Hodges has the ball about 20 metres out from goal at the other end.
Gee, the roar that went up when the fans down that end realised that Lockett was no good and was coming off. It was like Hodges had kicked the goal, which he now has.
Straight through.
Well, a pretty simple goal there from the 10-metre square. And that's a point in itself. It's not a square, but we keep calling it the square. To Scott Hodges, the much maligned full forward, who's having an input on this game. He's had a number of shots at goal. It's converted twice. The Crows looking pretty comfortable at the moment.
Back in the middle, and Wren wins once more. Crows don't necessarily get the ball, and they don't this time. Hollow gets the ball up to Anderson. High into the breeze. Rice goes to ground. No whistle for that. In front of the pack, Bowie. 40 metres out, he settles. Lowe's gone to the goal square, but he's behind Visca, and Visca takes the mark. His pass to centre half back, where Bickley takes the mark. Running past Jamison. Straight up the middle over the centre circle. From behind the mark by Bone. Hodges is on a lead. Not a bad trap. Socket forward by McGuinness to Liptak. He flicks it out the back. Had to be a throw, and he's penalised for it.
Matthew Liptak with a try, I guess. Taylor plays on to Harvey, who boots it towards midfield. Ill-directed, though. Storming up the ground is Lee. Sends it back in, and Hodges got free because his man, I think, initially was looking to run off and take a hand pass. Hodges came to the other side of the ground, presented himself, and Shanahan, when the ball was turned over, couldn't get back to cover in time. So Hodges amongst the goals today, kicking at his third. Midway through the term. Leans back on it. Another lazy kick. It just goes to the left-hand side all the way.
Pretty good system going between Hodges and Modra at the moment. Modra's staying pretty much in the goal square, and Hodges is leading, but he's kicked 2-3.
Devonport marks the kick in. Still in the back pocket. Not much on offer down the ground. Kicks towards centre half back. They've got the numbers there. Anderson stands his ground. Tregenza bearing down, but Anderson takes the mark. So at centre half back, Dean Anderson kicks very high towards the outer side wing. Wren in best position, one-handed. Lowe dropped it behind. Picked up by Wren. Well done by the big man. Tries to get the hand pass off. He's still in there battling for the ball, as are several others, including Shaw. And we've got a whistle. That's Hollow.
Out near centre wing. Wren palms down. Can't clear the area. The umpire will ball it up again. So far, Wren, 3 kicks and 5 hand passes. Hit-outs of 14-7 in favour of Adelaide. Doesn't always go to an Adelaide player, as Gerard will quickly remind you. Here goes Wren. Out towards half forward. Visca knew the man was there. He gave it quickly out. Tregenza goes back to Schwert. Near the goal square. Shanahan in front. Just outside the 50. Schwert, plenty of time.
Just speaking about the hit-outs, Drew, obviously Wren must be dominating around the ground, because in the centre I've got it 4 apiece.
Oh, Modra felt the ground he is and will take a free kick.
Well, I don't think there'll be too many argue with that one. Certainly not Tony Modra. Shoot from an area where we'd expect him to kick a goal. Swert back after breaking his jaw last year. He's been absent for a long time. Danny Frawley, a desperate lunge, but gives away the penalty.
Wasn't quite a belt around the ears, maybe just gave him a bit of a haircut. Now Modra, he's kicked 2 goals, 1. Hush over the ground. Missed. No, he's got it. He's got 3. Long way back for the Saints from here. It's 9-7 to 3-9.
Yes, I was thinking the same myself, Drew. Would be very deflating for the St Kilda players to look at the scoreboard and see that you're the best part of 6 goals down, and then probably your only hope limps off with perhaps an ankle injury or a hamstring injury. We'll find out more when Maxi gives us an update.
On the 7 Sports scoreboard, Adelaide lead it by 34 points. Tony Modra now, 98 career goals, approaching a milestone. Meantime, a free kick back in the middle. And this is Burke. Looking towards half forward. He swings it out wide. Low is the target. He's outnumbered. It runs free behind, but I think he's going to get a free kick. Pushed in the back. Big Stewie, who coming into this round led the league and marks taken. In fact, it went the other way, and Rashudo boots it down towards half forward. Well, Stewie was going back for the kick. He, like me, thought the umpire indicated that way. I'm sure he did. The umpire perhaps got it wrong, but Devonport has the ball. Justice is done as the Saints bring it back, and it's taken by Bingham. Bingham plays on by hand to Dwyer, forward of the centre circle. Tripped, was he? Yes. He'll get the free. So Dwyer, there's a man loose on the grandstand side, but he couldn't kick it that far with this prevailing breeze. That was Dwyer. His kick goes downfield, and there's a free kick this time to Lowe. No doubting that. The umpire and Lowe agreeing on that, and Stewie will shoot from about 35 metres out.
This certainly will test Stuart Lowe, kicking into this blustery wind. You see the infringement on screen. Stuart Lowe taking a run up that Dennis Silly would be proud of. We've marked the ground in front of him, Peter Hudson has instructed him to do.
Very important kick, this one. Lowe knows it. It's over the ground. Wow. Dennis Lilly will be happy to get that sort of swing. The old away swinger to the left-hander. Max Stevens is on the boundary, I guess, with news of Tony Lockett.
Well, according to one of the St Kilda medical staff people, Tony Lockett has a lower back problem. Straight into the rooms, not taking any chances. And at this stage, I'd like the opportunity to change my selection, gentlemen.
No.
Jamieson to centre wing. Punch misses Harvey. Goes past McGuinness. Now Harvey. 60 metres out right in front. Wren getting back there to take the mark. It's only his second mark. About 10 disposals now. Through Jamieson to McGuinness. Looking dangerous, the Crows. Long kick for Jarman. Pittman waits with his hand pass. He had a choice. Tregenza off to Jarman. Jarman the short pass wide for Hodges on the bounce. He has Liptak in support. Matthew Liptak 40 metres out. Centering kick. Nearly a goal. Modra's there with Frawley. Frawley spoils it. And into the post for a behind. Tony Modra just 3 goals now in the total of 9 goals 8.
Hollow marks the kick in, goes to Burke, who's upended by Beckley. And he's paid it as a charge, has he? Must have, because Beckley took Burke front on. Meantime, down the ground, O'Brien claims the mark. It's paid. So O'Brien just forward of left half back. Thought Burke was a bit lucky to get that free. Back at a position forward of the back pocket. Here's Wren. And the big man again putting his stamp on this game.
He's dominating.
Reads it so well for a youngster. He boots it back towards half forward. Strong mark in front by Bone, who's been very impressive this afternoon. Bone about 70 metres out from goal to the pocket. Modra. He's marked at about 40 metres from goal. He's already kicked 3. The margin is 34 points. This to make it 40. And his 99th career goal could be upcoming.
Yes, I think there'll be a couple of other statistics broken here today, the way that the Crows are looking. St Kilda just allowing too much latitude through the centre of the ground. Aren't manning up well enough. Modra should convert.
He'll go at the left-hand goal post. Well, he bends it back from the right. And the ball is pushed across the line. Never looked likely off the boot. There's Tony Modra. Exciting player.
Such a star this year after just 21 goals in 8 games last year.
Must be sobering to try and catch Gary Ablett the way things are going on the goal-kicking list.
Well, what's he need? He needs 14 today to catch him.
Well, the hold up here is because the Crows are using the zone defence to advantage, and finally they get a pretty useless kick to Anderson, only 5 metres away from Frawley.
This is Devonport further down the ground up towards half-back.
Goes in short to Harvey. Oh, he took one.
Did he what?
And he hasn't got up in a hurry either, Robert Harvey. Well, they can ill afford to lose Harvey as well as Lockett. Lockett already off the ground. Harvey 14 disposals. To Taylor at centre half back. Burke. Well, that's a kick and hope. Just up in the air looking for Lowe. came back on it. Hand pass Shaw. Out to the new boy Heppel, and Rice has it. Within kicking distance, the breeze right across him from there. Dean Rice missed all of last season, knee reconstruction, and great to see him back this year. Distance, no worries. Accuracy is. See the breeze take it right, and the distance was a worry. Only got at the edge of the goal square.
That man again, Sean Wren. McGuinness gets it across to Jamison. Chips it out wide. Bickley. He breaks away. He's at left half back. He goes long for distance through the wing. Up in front was Smart. Been pretty well held by Grant. This is Jarman. Feigns a hand pass. Now drops it onto the boot. Modra, awkward half volley. Controls it brilliantly. I'm not sure that was the target, but Liptak got it. Did he throw it? Not according to the umpire. Here's Hodges, 35 metres from goal. He pulls it back. It's a bender. It's a beauty. The Saints are in desperate trouble approaching half-time.
Well, Dennis, I think you'll be looking for the record books here, because the Crows are just looking a treat at the present time. Jarman's creating havoc in his short time up on the forward line. Modra and Hodges are working well together. Liptak's having a good game. It's hard to see any joy there for St Kilda.
(69-28), and Wren charges over the top and wins another one out of the middle. Hollow goes towards half forward to Stewie Lowe. Pittman's there to apply a tackle. Man didn't have the ball. Free kick to St Kilda.
Good work from Hollow there, coming off centre half backs. The third time he's repelled a Wren tap out, taking the ball from the centre for St Kilda.
It's Damon Shaw again into Hollow. And across the half-forward line, trouble. Jarman comes in to spoil Dwyer, and they've lost it. McDermott, the hand pass to Bone. Wren. Through Jarman it goes. Look at the choices they had. Bowie did pretty well. Shaw goes to ground this time. Jarman once more. His left foot around the boundary line. Nobody there. Out will do him. At centre wing.
Well, the Crows looking irresistible. Their fans love it. Enjoying the sunshine and the footy. A wall of faces in the background there and in the outer. In front, Bone knocks it forward, taken by Liptak, enjoying a good game. McDermott, brilliant hand pass, releases Bickley around the outer side, pulls it back again, looking for either one of the spearheads. Hodges, he's got the mark about 20 metres out from goal. Scott Hodges, who's matching Tony Modra goal for goal this afternoon. And they're getting well fed down there.
This is twice for the afternoon that Hodges has just stood up in a pack and taken an uncontested mark. So Shanahan will have to just tighten up a touch.
Hodges gets his fourth.
Ball in this quarter.
11-9 plays 3-10. We've got a rout.
There's 7 goals already for the Crows in this quarter. Look at the ease with which they take this forward. McDermott, as always, that's his strength, starting the Crows running from the packs. Long kick in, uncontested mark, simple goal.
Hodges has 4, all in this quarter. Modra has 3, 1 in this quarter. Bingham once again facing up to Wren in the middle. Just under 3 minutes to half-time. 50-50 that one between the ruckmen. And another ball up. Well, they've destroyed some very good teams at Football Park. They beat Geelong by 91 points just before the finals last year, and Geelong were grand finalists. And look what they did to North Melbourne in the Foster's Cup, and we're in North Melbourne on the ladder at the moment.
So I thought that was a bit tough on Nathan Berg. Written into the ground. The umpire declared a throw.
Kick by Schwert. Frawley spoils Modra. Dropped it in the tackle. Jarman, a terrific tackle. In there is Liptak. Jarman to help out once more. The umpire will ball it up, but it looked as though it was easy for Devonport to get it out of there, and Jarman just took his air away.
And a good indication of how the Crows are attacking this game. Their tackling on the forward line has been superb. St Kilda well down in that area.
Smart wins, knocks it towards goal. Hollow, hand pass is blocked. They're doing it in numbers. Harvey for St Kilda. The torrent against him, short of centre wing. Low punches. Dwyer spins out of trouble. The hand pass is okay. O'Brien. He goes across the ground to Pekin. O'Brien, the ex-Essendon player. Pekin, the ball's tapped down. Bowie's there. Goes to Rice. Puts on the gas pedal. A fumble by Devonport. They've lost it again. Visca, McDermott. Here we go again. Schwert takes the handball. Had time to fumble, but he didn't have time to try and get boot the ball, and Dwyer got him. A ball up.
Rob Harvey's had 12 kicks, 15 possessions in total, but most of those are coming deep in defence. He's such a creative player. I believe that Ken Sheldon could perhaps do better using him forward of the centre. Perhaps a forward centre running off the half-back flank. A half-forward flank. Sorry,
gets it across to Rashudo, who kicks inside the 50. Jarman misses it. This is Grant, who's doing pretty well in defence. It's a beleaguered defence. He goes out wide. Devonport, 47 points the margin. Devonport close to the boundary line. Stays close with that kick. Low, just working against the numbers out there. Dwyer did very well to come and assist. Good hand pass too. Shaw, centering kick. O'Brien waits, fisted away by Lee, so good in that situation. Lee in trouble, met very solidly by O'Brien. Still O'Brien goes, well played. 45 metres out, this deserves a goal. It's bending back, Rice is down there. Wrestle to the ground, he's going to get a free kick. It'll go against Hart. There's the siren. So Hart and Grant Vernon having a tete-a-tete down there. But Rice may have the last word. He kicks it in a quarter where Adelaide did most of the talking. It's 4-10 to 11-9 at halftime, and the crowd are booing. But really, I think they should forget about that last decision and applaud their team off the ground, because Adelaide looking set to make their record 9-5. And how would you be if you made the 6 and had to play the Crows here at Football Park in a final round game? It would be a daunting prospect no matter where they finish in the top 6. And it seems that they're well on the way. Look at that scoreline. Very, very hard to beat here in Adelaide. The Crows at halftime lead the Saints. It's 11-9 to 4-10.
The name of the game is Australia.
And the result of the Crows home match open, the winning ticket number 74085. 74085. So you're lucky winner. Congratulations to you. You can collect your prize from the match day off this afternoon. Don't forget, of course, the ultimate sporting lottery. Three prizes, lottery from the Kraken Country Snake. The trip to 2 to London and Los Angeles Flying Continental. There's also a Toyota wide body Camry is the second prize. There's a trip to San Francisco for a family of 4, and a trip to Hawaii for a family of 4, plus many more prizes. Tickets are $5 each. They're available from the South Australian National Football League clubs, county service stations, and market butchers. But remember, sales of tickets close Wednesday the 14th of July. So next Wednesday, ticket sales close in the Island Sports and Lottery. So make your way to your county service stations, any market butcher or any SANFL football club, and pick up your ticket in the Island Sporting Lottery. And that's Lock and Land in the Kraken Country Estate, or the trip to Los Angeles and London Flying Continental, which is the third prize. Could be yours to be asking. The Toyota Camry, wide body sedan, the trip to San Francisco for a family of 4, or the trip to Hawaii for a family of 4. Certainly great value for only $5 in the ultimate sporting lottery.
Well, the Crows did well in the first quarter into the breeze, but once they had the wind, look at their second term. They kicked 7-4 to 2 goals 3 and lead 11-9 75 to 4-10 34. Hodges has 4, all in the second quarter. Modra has 3. And for St Kilda, Tony Lockett has 2 goals, but midway through the second term, he limped off the ground, and I doubt whether we'll see him back. So, Gerard, it doesn't look too good for the Saints with even an hour of football to go.
No, it appears as if it's going to be a Crow rout here at Football Park, and you'd be terribly disappointed if you're Ken Sheldon at the moment, because they're getting killed in almost all aspects of the game. Take out the centre bouncers, and the Crows are well on top. There's big Tony Lockett. Well, what a blow that was for all St Kilda fans. Well down on the scoreboard, and to see perhaps their only hope limping off with what we believe is a back injury. And you would consider now that the Saints can only do their best to make this score respectable. The Crows, with the Modra and Hodges double up forward, are looking particularly good. Liptak's having a good game. Wren around the ground is doing well, although I'm not sure he's doing all that well in centre bounces, winning the ball occasionally at taps, but St Kilda doing quite well round the periphery. And there you see the centre bounce takeaways. St Kilda in front, and that's an indication of how poorly they're going around the ground, because when you dominate the centre bounces like that, usually you're in front on the scoreboard.
Yes, so it's a 41-point lead to the Adelaide Crows at half-time. The interstate team's doing particularly well. The Crows trying to make the finals for the first time in their 3 years. Well, the reigning premiers come from further west over in Perth. What about a second West Australian team? There have been a lot of moves towards it. Can football afford a second team in WA? Neil Poe takes a look at the dollars and cents to that proposal.
The name of the game is Australia.
The game most of us love is also big business. In WA alone, the industry is estimated to be worth well over $50 million a year. And topping the balance sheet, close to $5 million to run the West Coast Eagles.
We think that long term, in the medium to long term, Western Australia does have the financial capacity to support 2 AFL clubs and 2 very successful AFL clubs.
Notwithstanding establishment costs of between $1 and $2 million, a new club would have very similar expenses to the Eagles. Last year they were $2.1 million for player payments, $1 million for administration costs, $500,000 for promotions and marketing, another $500,000 for ground rental, transfer and medical fees, $380,000 for coaching and support staff, $250,000 recruiting costs, and $150,000 payroll tax. Total bill, $5.03 million.
We are exploring at the moment ways in which the capital can be raised, and the advice we've had is that it is possible.
But from some of the players already in the Perth sports market, a warning.
In this city, there is a definite limit. We have very few corporate sponsors capable of sponsoring it at a level needed for this size of undertaking.
You can't just keep taking it out of the community. It's not, right now it's not there.
The Eagles commissioned their own financial impact study through accounting firm Arthur Anderson. It projected the new club would lose $800,000 in the first 4 years, and the Eagles' income would drop by a similar amount. And what cost to the WAFL clubs, already struggling to make ends meet and starved of paying customers? Last weekend's 4 games attracted a total of just 13,800 spectators.
Well, it'll have an enormous effect on the West Australian football system if it comes in, because you're going to end up with a game of AFL football in Western Australia, in Perth, every weekend.
Throughout the second side debate, there is one common fear, that unless a new club is planned and costed very carefully, Perth could end up with a third-rate local competition and 2 second-rate AFL teams.
Well, apart from the Eagles, there are a lot of West Australians in the AFL playing for clubs all around the country, and one of them is Darren Cowell, who is this week's nomination for the Norwich Rising Star Award. Darren starred in the Demons' win over St Kilda with 21 possessions and 2 goals. And he did well again yesterday against Geelong. He hails from Bunbury in Western Australia and was playing for Claremont in the WAFL when selected as Melbourne's #1 draft choice in the 1991 National Draft.
It's the name of the game.
From Tasmania, the defensive favorite, 25. Victorian Country, Wales County. Victoria Metropolitan side, the captain, Adam Smith. From Western Australia, Brett Carter. And finally, from South Australia, their best favorite, Ben Kent. A highlight of the National Under-17 Championships is the naming of the All-Australian team. At this stage, we would like to acknowledge the All-Australian celebrities who gave their time this week to look at all the lads and it was a very difficult task in selecting the final 22. And we'd like to acknowledge selectors John Albertson.
The other game being played today at the MCG between Richmond and Footscray. Let's take a look at some highlights of the first half from that game.
Again, no mark taken. Lambert at the forward of the ball. Knights, centering kick, Hogg on his own. Beautiful lead to get clear of Campbell. That looks pretty good. He doesn't miss from that range too often. Or has he? Here's Atkins, throws it away. Good umpiring. Advantage played on the Knights from Nash. Matthew Knights looking for Hogg. A beautiful kick to Hogg. That's great play, Richmond. So, Jeff Hogg for his second. He's normally a good kick. He's kicked it. Well, here's Knights again. Knights and Lambert. They've got some talent, those two. Craig Lambert to half foot on. Look at this. McQueen on his own. Chips it in towards the pocket and have a look at that. Sometimes when they hesitate, just a sign of unsurety. But he's kicked it. Third goal to Jeff Hogg. Bauer in towards goal from 40 metres across the face. Campbell. Hogg. Big chance here for Richmond. Hogg scoops it up. Here's a kick by Ryan. He's put it through for a goal.
Ryan Rawls frees a bird at 10.5 forward.
If he sees him, and if he saw him, the kick wasn't that well weighted, but it's come off for Ballantyne to mark. So John Ballantyne, 50 metres out, low trajectory kick. Looks pretty good from here. He's got the goal. So once again, Ridgich and Essler. Colin snap, that's going close. It's bending around, that's a beauty. What a great kick.
Highlights of the first half from the MCG. Some stations will be taking a replay of that game after this, so if you don't wish to know the score, so you can watch the replay tonight, look away now. And here at Football Park in Adelaide, it's the Crows by 41 over St Kilda at half-time. We'll be back soon.
It's the name of the game.
Gentlemen, on behalf of the National Australia Football Council, I extend our thanks to the Commonwealth Bank, which has now been sponsored for 86 years. The first of those sponsorships in 1986, the Commonwealth Bank cut its last play at Football Park. Indeed, that sponsorship was completed by 7 years of sponsorship to football in general, making it total of 15 years. We do thank the bank and look forward to associating for many years to come. This week, with a very extensive number of games played, it couldn't have been possible without the great efforts of Owen Tippett, the Australian manager, the SAFL, and any clubs in the league who An update on the half-time score for the MCG, Richmond 7-4, leading Footscray 4-9. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Crows Dancing Girls after-match party at the Fire Bar tonight, 11 o'clock until late. It's only $5 a head. With all you can eat from the buffet, and the score guys will be playing you this evening. So that's the Crows Dancing Girls after-match party at the Fire Bar tonight at 8 o'clock. This group kicking goal scorers for both sides up to half-time. 11 goal scorers for Adelaide, Scott Hodges with 4, Tony Motley with 3, and one each to Simon Pazinza, Randall Bone, Tony McGuinness and Matthew Lipstack for St Kilda. Their leading goal kicker Tony Motley with 2, one each to David Grant and Dean Rice. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome back on the football park the Adelaide Camry Crows.
And we're back at Football Park half-time, and the Adelaide Crows lead at 11-9 to 4-10, so the margin is 41 points as we go down to Max Stevens.
Well, Ken Sheldon pointing out during the half-time break that the centre breaks are going to be so crucial for St Kilda if they're going to stop Adelaide from controlling this game. He said particularly this quarter we have to really make a move. Now, the real bad news from the St Kilda rooms, Tony Lockett has gone to hospital for x-rays, and as we have a look at this, a lower back problem, hit the goalpost when contesting. It's the same injury that caused him so much trouble last season. So Tony Lockett at Royal Adelaide Hospital at the moment for x-rays, and I think it'd be fair to say the key for St Kilda, if they're to get back into this ground, they're going to have to use the outer side of the ground with the way the wind's blowing. Adelaide, not a lot to report, but great to see Andrew Jarman, been a question mark on his form in the last couple of weeks, coming onto the ground and doing quite a bit of damage. So great for Andrew Jarman, and the way it's headed, I'm going to have to change that selection, gentlemen. Now that Lockett's gone, you're going to have to give me a second go.
Yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, hopefully they'll listen to Ken Sheldon. Max hopes they will. As we take a look at some of the stars in this game today, plenty of them.
Well, Tony McGuinness, as always, picking up plenty of possessions. One-on-one against Harvey for St Kilda, both having about the same influence on the game.
Robert Harvey, 15 possessions, got busy in that second term, worked hard in defence, but he was under pressure down there. 10 possessions coming in the second quarter.
And Matthew Liptak, one of the best on the ground at the moment. 12 possessions, plenty of kicks, and given good drive plus a good goal.
Damon Shaw, write that name down because you'll hear more of it. 14 possessions to half-time, and each of them, well, just about every one of them, a quality possession. Uses the ball very well.
And Sean Wren, particularly good performance around the ground, getting plenty of possessions, as you can see, almost Ruck Rover type statistics, 5 kicks and 8 handballs. And St Kilda doing him plenty of favours by kicking it directly to him on a number of occasions.
Not all the Saints are working too hard. One man who is Mark Dwyer, always does. The only way he knows. Very even spread, 12 possessions to the half.
The Crows still in a tight bunch, and the Saints have gone out to their positions apart from the 6 defenders, who are a bunch within the team. Adelaide missed the finals in their first 2 years. They're currently 6th on the ladder. Are they going to make the finals in their 3rd year? Well, they couldn't afford a loss today, otherwise they'd have been displaced from the top 6. But they look as though they're heading for a victory.
Funny to see the Crows without Rodney Maynard, of course, injured the other night in that Friday night game against Sydney. He hasn't missed a game, or hadn't missed a game, since their inception. But of course, he's out for some weeks now with that broken collarbone. Robin as well with the broken leg, so they paid a price against the Sydney Swans. But they're still playing well this afternoon. One wonders why they can't transfer and translate this form to Melbourne, because if they could, then suddenly, of course, they'd be a formidable challenger for the title. But I made the point just before half-time, Drew, about the fact that if you got Adelaide at Football Park in the finals, you wouldn't be too happy, would you?
Well, if it's a sudden death, if it's 5th versus 6th, for instance, you'd nearly say, well, your finals campaign is going to end in a week if you've got them over here.
I think another important factor about this game today is that it looks like it's going to be a big percentage booster for Adelaide, and percentage may be the deciding factor when it comes for the final 6. Adelaide looking reasonably good at the moment with 106. Essendon, of course, who are just lurking outside, have 124. So with Essendon having a draw, it's unlikely they'll end up on the same points. But Carlton 111, that's almost worthy of a game, that extra 5%. So the Crows certainly won't be wanting to ease back and just allow St Kilda some respectability on the scoreboard. Just hammer them home and get a big victory.
Well, the Saints have trailed at halftime in 8 games this season. They've come back to win twice. That was against Collingwood in round 4 and Fitzroy in round 13. But the margin's nothing like this. It's blown out now to 41 points. So the job really in front of them. And we're watching some of these youngsters from the carnival during the week. Australian Championships just get off the ground. The presentation took place at halftime. Saw the final earlier today. Drew was talking about that. And some terrific talent on display.
I see Bingham is lined up at centre-half forward for St Kilda. Peter Everett, big tall fellow. He's getting a run in the ruck. Stuart Lowe's at full forward. Nigel Smart's gone down there with him. There they are on screen. So St Kilda trying to throw their side around to get a better formula so they can come back into this game. And if they are to be a chance, I'd say they'd almost have to be level at 3/4 time. Ben Hart has come out to centre-half forward, I think, for the Crows, or perhaps a half-forward flank. Randall Bone. There's a group of them in a huddle there at centre-half forward. So a new role for Ben Hart.
What a height advantage on Grant. Start of the second half here at Football Park. 41 points the margin. The breeze is not worth that much, so St Kilda will really have to play well to be up and level at 3/4 time. Tregenza goes across the ground, in fact goes backwards for him. Rasciuto does well to run onto it. He played in the Teal Cup last year, and here he is, just a youngster playing with the Crows. Liptak, his kick up towards centre-half forward. And dropping in the hole is the man who didn't need the height on that occasion, David Grant, to take the mark. He's out towards the broadcast side. Everett. Oh, he dropped a sitter.
Good tackle.
Then applies a good tackle, and that is holding the ball. So Everett will win a kick anyway.
I had a feeling that this player may have started in the ruck. Much better size for Sean Wren.
There's Shaw booting it down towards half forward. Lee directs it out towards the boundary line. This is Smart up from the back pocket. Jamison right against the boundary line. Needs precision. Tregenza lunges at it. And the umpire says he touched it in the field of play. Well, that's problematic.
Replay of that.
Yeah, it was very, very close. Study and concentration. It's thrown in. This is Devonport doing well, keeping it in front. He's about 65 metres from goal. Sets it up for Lowe. Too much carry on the kick, and Lowe was troubled by this son. This is Jamison. Puts it wide to the advantage of Visca, who can run onto the ball. What's ahead? Liptak working hard towards the outer side. He's a bit too quick for Taylor. Taylor battles. Liptak is still there. He was held without it. He'll take the free kick. He wants to run on and gather the ball himself, hoping he'd get the advantage, but the umpire is whistling him back. Matthew Liptak, when he goes, he's a very important player, I think, for Adelaide. Boots inside the 50. Bone was up, got hands to it. That's a good duel. Bone and Hollow. Bone does best this time. This is Schwert. He runs to 40. It'll take a good kick from here. It's anything but. Puts it out of bounds on the full. Stephen Schwert, drafted by the West Coast Eagles originally. Opted to stay here in Adelaide and eventually made it as a Crow.
Danny Frawley. Not much to remember so far about his 200th game. Kicks in towards the outer side. Comes to the front. Everett lost it, the tackle. It comes to McGuinness. Centering kick is perfect, and Scott Hodges has it again.
That, of course, has been the difference between Harvey and McGuinness today, both getting about the same number of possessions, but McGuinness is doing more up in the forward line, creating a lot more damage with his touches.
Hodges kicked 4 goals in the second quarter. Hasn't kicked a goal at this end yet today. Good looking kick. It's close. Listen to the noise. You knew it was a behind. But here at pin drop. That is 4 goals 4 for Scott Hodges. Former Magarey medalist who kicked 151 goals in a season here in the SANFL. Haven't cleared it yet. St Kilda, look out. Taylor floats a hand pass to Shanahan, and it was him, not me. Harvey dodging and weaving. Robert Harvey, brilliant. His kick towards centre half forward. Punch from behind is fantastic from Jamison. Straight onto Schwert, who's been a good player. Bone steers it low into the breeze, and Tony Modra will be kicking for goal again.
For the second time this afternoon, we've seen the skills of Randall Bone. Very good kick, pinpointing a pass initially to Hodges in the first quarter, and this time Tony Modra on the finish.
Going for his 4th. Again silence, and right out of bounds. Well, he won't catch Ablett today at that rate.
The Crows lead by 7 goals. Here's Taylor beside the behind post. Driving it around the outer side. In front, no contest. Bone drops the mark though. Grant grabs him. Hollow left without the ball. Hollow's tried hard in defence. Still they battle. Everett back to Hollow. Down he goes, and a strong tackle from McGuinness, who then proceeds to umpire the game. Just assisting the umpire, and we've got a ball up. Chris Hollow, formerly played with the Essendon under-19s. One down by Bingham. In the grasp, McDermott trying to crash his way through was Hollow. Eventually Dwyer gives it across to Devonport. Devonport inside to Pekin. Pekin goes again. This is Harvey running down towards half forward. Rashuda came to meet him. The ball is turned over. Visca, McGuinness. They're vulnerable now, St Kilda, as Rashuda boots it down towards half forward. Burke did well to win it forward, opposed to Jarman. Tregenza against the flow, 55 metres out. The kick's a wayward one. It comes to the pocket. Liptak goes after it. Can he keep it in? But he did the hard work. Surprised himself. He's exhausted, and the ball's out of bounds and will be thrown in.
He'll ask himself whether it was worth the run now.
The answer's no.
Palm down. Oh, Jarman takes the palm from Hodges. Jarman comes back. Bickley. Tregenza. A bit high for him. Had to stretch for it. Short pass. Hodges. Well, this is working a treat, isn't it? Modra and Hodges.
Just today.
Yes, I think that's the question, Dennis. Can this combination work in the finals? Hodges and Modra, a couple of times this year it's been, well, not quite as successful as today. The difficulty here will be to pinpoint this one between the big sticks.
For goal number 5. Oh, it's getting away right.
Gee, that breeze is strong.
Yeah, that's 4 goals 5 for Hodges.
And it's interesting that the forwards haven't really learned from the previous kicks of other people. They're still maintaining a shot at the middle of the goals. And each time it blows away, even out of bounds on the fulls. Very, very strong down there.
Danny Frawley goes straight down the middle, and why not? Grant's in front, worked under the ball by McDermott. Dwyer did brilliantly. Too slow was Anderson. Taken high, says the umpire, though. Anderson hasn't seen much of the ball this afternoon. His first kick. Well, in fact, looking at the wrong Anderson on the stat sheet.
Being a bit tough on Greg Anderson. He's got no hope of getting a kick.
There's O'Brien. 40 metres out from goal. He pulls it back and kicks it behind. Punched the wrong button, and that's what happens, you see. So that was his 8th kick, Dean Anderson. No hand passes, though. There's O'Brien, who had that last shot at goal. 11-11 plays 4-11. Nigel Smart back in defence now. Didn't have the impact today on the forward line he's had in recent games. As towards the outer side. And Wren marks on his chest. Pittman runs on down the ground. Wren told to play on because he must have looked at Pittman, I guess. He pops it up. Bingham goes in and fists it out of bounds. It'll be thrown in on the outer side, midway between right half back and right centre wing for the Adelaide Crows, who are in total control.
Centre wing outer side for the throw in. Comes down to Anderson. Hurried kick and man in front. Rice takes the mark. Breeze at his back and across him, but he's not going for distance. Looks for Lowe. Gets underneath the ball. And round the corner. Clever kick by Heppel, but just offline behind. Martin Heppel, an 18-year-old, making his debut today from Kerry Grimmer. He was the Saints' second pick in the pre-season draft in March. Scott Lee. Fanning out all over the place. Really needs a system to kick into this breeze. Lee gets it out to the 50 for Smart. His arms were taken away and he'll take the free kick. Away goes Nigel Smart on the run.
He's on the wing now. Boots towards the 50. Out comes Hodges. Up he goes in front. No mark. Hollow heads towards the boundary line. And he's content with his work. It'll be thrown in just outside the attacking 50. The Crows, who moved it pretty well after that initial delay. 77 plays 36. Early in the third term. Sellout crowd enjoying this afternoon. Bone gets it down. Burke was tackled before he had the ball. Got it quickly onto his boot. Tregenza stood up in the tackle. Eventually he goes down. Grant did well. Harvey likewise. Dwyer. This is Shaw on the wing. Shaw in trouble. Goes to Bingham. The big man is. It's smothered off the boot or partially by Rashudo. And it deflects across the boundary line 15 metres further afield. Again, good pressure by the Crows. They worked back in defence there. Applying the pressure. Forcing the error. I guess if you're working the ball forward with hand passes, you don't want Bingham on the end of the chain. Now Rashudo will get a free kick. Promising young player, just 18 years of age. He's at left half back. 11-11 plays 4-12. Rashudo boots it towards the wing. Bone is the target on the lead. Going back is Pekin. Hollow again. Close to the boundary line. Shaw, awkward half volley. It ricochets across to McGuinness, to McDermott, to Tregenza. How often do we see that? Tregenza boots it towards centre half forward. Jarman goes back down there with Burke. Coming through strongly is the skipper, Danny Frawley. Away he comes, little chip pass towards the middle. Cut out by Wren. Here's a great opportunity now for the Crows. Numbers everywhere. McDermott to McGuinness, sending him away on his left foot. He goes looking for Modra. Saw him all the way. Oh, what a terrific kick into the breeze. And Modra gets a goal. Well, he couldn't have thrown a javelin any better there. Tony McGuinness. He had to spear it up into the breeze, and it was perfect.
Here's a great intercept by Sean Renton. He's dominating around the ground. Here's a combination Big Mac. McDermott to McGuinness. And as Dennis so rightly pointed out, a magnificent kick. Who set up Modra for the easiest of goals.
Well, that was the first goal of this third quarter, and the Saints didn't need it to be an Adelaide goal. Saints still looking for a goal with the breeze. On all fours is Kane Taylor to Grant. Now to Harvey. Kick by Harvey to half forward. Rice goes through him. Lee spins out of trouble. Pekin charges at it. Tregenza takes it away from him. Nothing going right for the Saints. On his own is Bone. He's about 25 metres in the clear. Randall Bone runs around Hollow. The kick up towards centre half forward. Big pack. Tackling by the Adelaide forwards. Keep the ball there. McGuinness's hand pass back to Bone. Missed him. Pekin. Another interception. Tregenza. Jarman at centre half forward. Oh! He tried to show it to the opposition. He gave it to the opposition. To Burke. Kicked by Nathan Burke. If it's anything like that. O'Brien there for St Kilda. Off the left boot. Lowe is one out. Clean bowled. It comes back. Oh, Jamison. Smart kept going. Watch for a Crows goal here into the breeze. Smart gets it back in the old 1-2 from Schwert. The pass wide to Modra. On the bounce, he couldn't gather it, and Frawley will be happy to see the boundary line.
Well, they're a strange contradiction, the Adelaide Crows. In full flight, there is no more awesome sight, I don't think, in the AFL. When they start to run the ball and their confidence is soaring and they're playing at Football Park, you've got to look out. was interesting when Jarman gave it away. The crowd started to laugh, which indicates that they think this game is in the bag. On the outer side, Shaw, Rashudo appeared to get to his back. Wren, McGuinness, who's getting cracking now. He boots it down towards half forward. Jarman's the target. Oh, deft deflection down to Liptak. That was very clever. Liptak controls the ball back to Jarman. Jarman lays it off outside the 50. Bone, a very deceptive player. He's highly skilled for a man of his build. He gets it to Bickley. He's a strange player to categorise, Randall Bone. That's Bickley. He'll kick from about 30 metres out. Very sharp angle. If he's got this, that's a marvellous kick. He hasn't got it. It's a pretty good kick, nevertheless.
(12-12 to 4 goals 12). So it's 1-3 to 2 behinds in this quarter, and the Saints goalless running with the breeze. Devonport, short pass to Harvey, getting plenty of the ball. Robert Harvey up to centre half forward. Rice once again underneath it. It's punched down to the front to Dean Anderson. He's lost it. O'Brien might have been interfered with by Lee. The umpire's going to come in and ball this one up. Now the Saints need a goal out of this and about 6 more to follow. Clean possession, Shaw. No distance with the kick. Rashuto, McDermott, Schwert, Bickley, Smart. Magnificent football out of defence. Now Nigel Smart going for a gallop. Good chase by the youngster Heppel. Just put him off enough perhaps. Round the boundary line it goes and back out of bounds.
I think that's one area where the Crows must learn to go longer. Nigel Smart had plenty of time. He wasn't under pressure. He's got a 2-pronged forward line up there with Modra and Hodges to shoot at, yet he elected to go even further wide to a player who isn't a great kick in Jarman.
Bickley combining there with McDermott. It comes down towards half forward. Grant goes back and takes a good mark. He's done pretty well in defence. This is Burke. Little chip pass intended for Harvey. He marks in front of McDermott. Robert Harvey still inside the centre square, but only just. 12-12 to 4-12. Lowe comes on a lead. That's ignored. Everett goes back to the square, and probably that's the best option. And he pops it in short. Should have been a punch from behind, and Lee knows it. O'Brien's paid the mark in front. Well, as soon as that ball was trapped between the 4 hands, Lee knew the mistake he'd made.
He doesn't often let himself down with poor discipline. You'll see here just probably buoyed by the scoreboard, although he almost had his hands on it first, but definitely should have punched.
O'Brien kicks from 40. The Saints needing this one, and he's got it. His first, their 4th. Their 5th.
Yes, they haven't been too quickly coming, the Saints' goals. Harvey was not certain what to do with that football. He waited and waited for an option. Finally, there was a half one. Fortunately for him, Craig O'Brien got his hands on it.
Double the score, 84 to 42. Dwyer, hand pass past the centre circle looking for Devonport. Taken out of it by Schwert. Oh, well done, Bickley. Put it out in front. Jamison round the corner. McGuinness had time to have a look, waiting for the bouncing ball. Up to half forward. Bone taken out of it by Hollow. No whistle. Liptak. No whistle again. Now they have it. Hart. Short pass is good. Modra right in front.
Well, there's many critics here in South Australia that believe Ben Hart will make his biggest mark of football on the ball.
He's given it back to Schwert, who goes for goal. It comes back, but not enough, and that is a miss from 30 metres.
Well, it's a pretty finicky breeze there, because I thought Schwert started that in the correct position. The wind didn't bring it back, but Ben Hart's disposal up and creativity up on that half-forward line Could be a move that the Crows may be just experimenting with for the September action.
There's the time remaining till three-quarter time, and the margin is 43 points. It was 41 at the half. Waiting behind Tregenza. Well, rugby league, that's a bomb. Over the top, McGuinness enjoyed that fly. Liptak hand passes towards goal. Jarman left it behind. This is Pekin. Anderson. No one to kick to. This is Schwert on the outer side. Schwert down towards the half-forward line. Put it back in. Modra wants it wide. That's the direction the kick takes. Hodges runs at the pack but stays out of the contest. In front was Modra. It was fisted away down there by Hollow. Jarman came out appealing, but Pekin got the hand pass away, and it was booted by Harvey back towards midfield. McDermott got it across towards support. Schwert now gives it to Bone. Bone goes long. That is a magnificent kick. Hit the post halfway up.
Some effort from there.
It's repeating that Tony Lockett has gone to hospital for x-rays on an injured back after a collision with the goalpost during the first term.
Danny Frawley. Short pass in to the back pocket, and Hollow has it for the Saints. Pekin goes wide to Burke. The kick up short of half forward. Bingham. He's taken out of it. Bickley at the back. McDermott applying the tackle. Shaw last man up with it, and we'll have a ball up. We're late in the third quarter. 12-14 the Crows. 5-12 St Kilda on the 7 Sport scoreboard. McDermott a little hand pass. McGuinness popped it up in the air. Anderson kick smothered. Bingham, but taken by Bickley. His hand pass floats. McGuinness grabs it. Beats one but can't beat two. The high handball is taken by Shaw. He puts it out wide. Anderson. Low. We've seen very little of this today from Stewie Lowe. Goes the short pass. Harvey takes the mark. And the reason I say that, there's 3 marks for Lowe, and that is way below his season average of 9, and he leads the competition in marking. Now here's Robert Harvey with his 19th kick, looking for the Saints' 2nd goal for the term. Remembering they're running with the breeze. Kick by Harvey is good. It's not good. Well, I thought the crowd behind the goals would have helped me out more than that.
Strangely silent, weren't they?
They've become complacent.
As have many of the St Kilda players, I'm afraid. Just really not attacking the ball with any spirit. They look a beaten lot.
Wren gets away, takes the mark from the kick in from Jamison and boots it around the outer side. McGuinness body to body with Harvey. Bickley, haven't seen a lot of him today, but he's been quietly effective as he boots it down towards half forward. Jarman, a lot of wrestling there. Gets it to Hart, who threads the needle looking for Modra. Awkward bounce. It's almost a carbon copy because leading directly behind him was Hodges, but he lost the ball. Shanahan a little bit slow. It comes to Liptak. Getting a hand on the ball was Hollow. Away comes Kane Taylor. Chips it in short. And the mark is held there by Rice. Rice up towards right half back. 12-14, plays 5-13. Rice to the wing. Oh, Wren comes in from the side, had it knocked away by Heppel. Gets the crumbs though, feeds it off to Tregenza. Tregenza goes down towards half forward. Hart props in front, not a mark. Rice had a hand on that one. That could almost be holding the ball. In the back, says the umpire. Well, Hart tried to con the umpire there. He full well knew it had been touched. Centering kick. Modra juggles it. That was touched as well. He plays on, throws it on the boot, and back goes Shanahan to take the mark. Modra on the edge of a milestone. Hart comes to Heppel. This is Bone twisting and turning. Oh, well, shades of Mark Nailey. The finish wasn't quite Nailey-esque. The ball's gone out of bounds on the full in the pocket. Now play on is called, and Frawley goes for a gallop. Anderson in trouble.
Now Harvey. The hand pass into Pekin. He gets some run from Burke. A high ball to centre half forward. It works to the back. Crows have the numbers. Lee. Good hand pass to Tregenza. Had time to wait for that one. Short passes. A bit short and a bit too wide. And it bounces out of bounds. Well, this quarter has been a nothing sort of quarter. The Crows have added a goal. St Kilda have added a goal. It's not a flogging one way or the other. The youngster Heppel comes off, replaced by Bowie. And the crowd is strangely very quiet here at Football Park. I don't know whether they're used to daytime football. They're used to those night games, which have been fantastic here this year.
I think they're content, though.
Well, nobody's going.
I think they're waiting on a last quarter 10-goal blitz.
Not beyond the realms of possibility the way we're going. This is Viska, who got it from Beckley. Liptak comes hard at the ball. Burke went back with great courage. Schwert can't control it. Liptak back to Schwert. Harvey hasn't got it. Still he battles after it. Schwert at close quarters, Rosciuto. Liptak, Jarman a little chip pass to Bone. That was exquisite stuff there. Not much space in which to operate, but quick hands and eventually a good little chip pass.
And the development of Bone is an important factor for the Crows, particularly in the light of the injuries to both Robran and Maynard. Another player that can play well up on the half-forward line is a particular bonus for the Crows.
Bone bonus. Here he is from 40 metres out. It's a goal. He's a very good kick. 13-14 to 5-13.
He just looks to be shedding a little of the puppy fat that he displayed last year. Probably spent a lot of time on the weights. But just have a look at this passage of play. Not a great deal of resistance from the Saints. The Crows just get the ball forward. This is training drill type stuff.
Rice holds up the Crows at half-back. Here's Grant getting the hand pass away, but it's intercepted by Bickley. His hand pass, Wren got a fingernail to it, but didn't take it away from Jamison. Jamison goes back to Liptak. And Viska. Long ball inside the 50. Jarman. It's tapped out by Shanahan to Devonport. Hodges was held when he didn't have it. And the free kick will go to Hodges.
Good lucky.
Modra one out with Frawley in the goal square. He's trying to get free. Modra giving him moves forward and back. Hodges goes long. Modra with the set. Good punch by Frawley. But here's Liptak, only 20 metres out. Offline. And out of bounds on the full. 1 goal, 1 and 1 out of bounds for Matthew Liptak. Schwartz had a good game. His first game for the Crows for the year, 21 possessions.
Yes, they've done very well across the centre. In fact, they've done very well everywhere. Here's Danny Frawley, his 200th game, 7th season as skipper. But very little memorable about this afternoon. He sends play back towards half-back. McDermott got an arm to that one. It ricocheted to Harvey. Harvey boots towards centre half forward. Grant now on the forward line. Sweeping hand pass out wide to accommodate the run of Devonport, who goes looking for the big man down there. Everett got a hand to it, couldn't control it. Viska in trouble, but gets the hand pass away. This is Pittman. And now Smart. Characteristic run from half-back. Wants to share the ball. Lee tried to go between two Saints, got into trouble. Smart collides out there with Bingham. Emerging with the ball is McGuinness. The little give and go, if you don't mind, with Wren. Now he boots it down towards half-forward. Liptak. He's been too good for Taylor. And he marks in front about 55 metres out. Heppel is coming back on. Devonport is off the ground. Meantime, Liptak goes down towards full forward. Jarman's over the ball. Working hard in there is Tim Pekin, but numbers told the story. It bounces through for a goal. Andrew Jarman in his 50th game, as his brother did yesterday, making something out of nothing.
And waving to the crowd.
Putting on a good show.
The Crow throw specialist also putting on the Crow show here at Football Park. And his 50th game for the club. I think he really has found his niche here. Up in that half-forward line, full forward line, feeding out some creative handballs.
98 plays 43. Anderson out of the middle for St Kilda. Punch from behind was disciplined by Viska. Umpire's taken a tumble behind this action. The hand pass tried to clear the area, but it's taken there by That's not a bad effort. Kick by O'Brien. Well, he's kicked 2, Craig O'Brien, both in this third quarter. And I was momentarily distracted by the umpire measuring his length on the ground about 60 metres out from goal. But O'Brien, who played 21 games for Essendon, took that back pretty well.
Devonport's back on the ground. Tim Peakin's off, so some very quick changes. Heppel came off, was back on. Devonport came off, and he's back on, all in the space of about 5 minutes. 14-14 to 6-13. Working down to three-quarter time. Bingham left it behind. McDermott to McGuinness. Having a good turn, McGuinness. His 23rd possession. Boots it out wide. Jarman's in front. Anderson couldn't control it. This is Jarman again, aided by a good Shepherd. Goes down to the pocket. Great courage by Rice going back off the ground. Lip tack. It's still alive. Eventually it trickles out of bounds, but he gained about 25 metres there. Tim Peakin on the bench. Nothing much to smile about this afternoon.
The blokes, there's St Kilda there organising the magnetic board. They need the 3 votes today. Haven't they made some switches?
This is Taylor. Hart. It's another one. No, the umpire is going to give a free kick, and it will go to the Saints. It'll be taken, I think, by Kane Taylor, who was taken high long before Ben Hart kicked that goal. A mouse above the right eye there for Ben Hart. Triple of blood as Taylor goes to the outer side. Wren, the discipline thing, fisting for it. Lip tack again. He's been a live wire on the forward line. McDermott just over the head of McGuinness. Jarman backed it up. This is McGuinness just inside the 50. Pops it up towards full forward. Bone is coming back. Modra behind. Behind him is Hodges. Paddles it towards the boundary on the siren. So three-quarter time at Football Park. And the margin is 49 points. The breeze has just rocked away a little bit, but in that term, Adelaide working into it, increased their lead. It was 41 at half-time. Now they're out 14-14 to 6-13.
The name of the game is Australia.
Crows outscored the Saints again, even though they were going into the breeze. They've won all quarters and lead 14-14-98 to 6-13-49.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
Coming up on 7 Sport, the Australian Touring Car Championship, round 8 from Wanneroo today. Check your local guides for telecast details. And Davis Cup, the quarter-final, Italy against Australia from Florence. And that's at the end of next week. Sandy Roberts winged off there today, up his luck, and be watching out for the Davis Cup. And World Athletics Championships from Stuttgart on August the 14th to the 22nd. I think Bruce is going out for that one. Good luck to him. Be watching out for those. Now, another game being played today at the MCG. It's Richmond against Footscray, as many viewers will be seeing a replay of that after this live telecast. If you don't wish to know the score, look away now.
It's the name of the
Graham Corns having a word with the Crows. Surely they can go on with it with the breeze in the last quarter. Down on the boundary line, Max Stevens.
Thanks, Drew. Well, Ken Sheldon making plenty of changes, but unfortunately running out of options. The Saints just can't get it right. Their attack on the ball and disposal, very disappointing. And unusual to see Ken Sheldon very cool, telling his players that they've got to get back to the basics and look for some respectability on the scoreboard. Graham Corns, well, Adelaide must go for percentage, a chance to grab 4th spot. They're kicking with the wind. He wants them to capitalise and bury the Saints for once and for all.
Interesting, Drew, that Tony McGuinness came off the ground there. He's had, what, 26 possessions to three-quarter time. Now, I suppose it raises an interesting question. Is he injured? Is he being rested? How would you feel, Jared, if you were coming off and perhaps looking down the barrel of 3 Brownlow votes?
Well, it's an interesting one. I think that McGuinness wouldn't be concerning himself with that. He's had a long season. He does probably 25 to 30 kilometres a game, and if they can rest him for a quarter, perhaps it could be a bonus later on. There he is on screen.
I'm not sure he's delighted.
Not sure he'd get the 3 votes.
No, but he'd be in the chop-up perhaps. Well, 26 to three-quarter time's not bad.
Handy work.
Given that his man's probably had just as many, it begs a question whether they'd be better with a tagger on him.
14-14, 6-13 as we start the final term here at Football Park, and it starts like the others have gone, with Wren pumping it down towards centre-half forward. Heppel is holding the ball.
Well, let's hope St Kilda can find something here, otherwise we'll be just watching a Crow training session.
That's right. 8 to 10 goals not out of the question here if the game continues, as the first 3 quarters have been played. Harvey did well, gets it across to Taylor. Taylor goes around the outer side, runs outside the 50, and a good mark is taken by Shaw, one of the few bright lights this afternoon as far as the Saints are concerned. We like him. Kicks it about 40 metres further afield. Rowe. No pressure on the ball carrier at all. This is Wren. Well, it's very lax at the present time. He goes looking for Hodges down there. It bounced off his chest. Shanahan, great desperation, slaps it out. Harvey left it behind. Tregenz's got it now. Little chip pass and half at full stretch has taken the mark. Mondra comes on the lead. He was leading too early though. Hart wasn't back in position to kick, so it was an ill-timed offering from the man downfield.
I'd kick the goal.
Could do.
Well, he should do from the distance. It shouldn't be a problem. Has only kicked one other this season.
Ben Hart on the breeze. It's a goal. I hope we're not talking avalanche here. 15-14 to 6-13.
Well, I think it'll be somewhere in the vicinity of 8 to 10 goals for the Crows. Tregenza hasn't been overly exciting today. Has had a little bit of the football, but gets it to Ben Hart. His task was a lot easier today with Tony Lockett going off the ground. Gets himself a share of the goals.
Harvey actually went up and won clean possession and a kick out of the middle, but it's been chopped off by Rasciuto. He gets support. Jamison. Hart, goal scorer, marks just over centre wing, slides off a little hand pass to Schwert. Schwert's left footer. Hodges at the back. Modra a chance to shake off Frawley. He's got it. Great goal by Modra, and that is 100 in his career. Modra kicks 5 today. 100 in a career which has spanned 2 seasons. The first season all right, the second season sensation.
Yes, well, anybody prepared to bet further than 10 goals. 2 goals in less than a couple of minutes. A great goal, this one to Modra. Goal of the day status, probably.
So a little piece of history this afternoon. Tony Modra, the first Crow to reach 100 goals in the AFL. Wren gets it down. McDermott to Bickley. The boots it down towards half forward. Liptak meters in the clear, and that ball was in the air for a long time. Liptak has the ball just outside the 50. 16-14, 6-13. Liptak has been very busy. His 26th possession unloads. They contest right on the kickoff line. It falls forward, taken by Harvey. This is Hollow. He's tried hard in defence. Runs it up towards half back. Oh, very untidy handball. Tregenza goes off the ground. Jarman has it. 40 metres from goal. Hodges drops it. He drops a lot of marks, does Hodges. It's out of bounds in the pocket as we go down to Max Stevens.
Yes, Tony McGuinness, I've been told, is simply being rested. I don't know if Tony's happy with that, but he's rested, no injury problems.
Another chance here for the Crows from the throw-in. Jarman. Good tackle by, I reckon that's worth a free kick.
Yeah,
it was a good tackle. And Rice was on his back appealing for the free, but nothing was doing. Right in front for the Crows. They lead 110-49. Bingham, but it goes straight to Hart. One out is Hodges. Off hands. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. Well, this could be an avalanche in the last quarter. The Crows have the breeze. They kicked 7 goals in the second term. But there's a lot of resistance from the Saints left. They could get plenty, the Crows, in this quarter. That's into the behind post for another throw-in.
Well, most clubs average about 40 turnovers per game. At this stage, I'd say the Saints are going for a personal best in that department.
Crowd today, 46,660.
Here's Jarman, 30 metres from goal. Misses to the near side. 16-15, 6-13. It'd be nice to be an Adelaide Crow playing on the forward line at the present time. There's going to be plenty of action in that area, one senses. As Frawley boots in towards half back. Bingham in front. Hart the big leap from behind. Harvey trying very hard. Gets it out wide to Burke. He's at left half back. Could go again to Dwyer and does. The runner inside, that's Anderson. He ignores that. He goes down towards half forward. Coming on the lead, and a strong lead to his Grant. He was pushed in the back. Oh, no free kick. Pittman got it to Rashudo. McDermott back to Rashudo. Boots to midfield. Coming through strongly is Taylor. Heppel. Only took too long. As a result, it was half smothered. Wiedemann on the ground. Wow. Fought his way through 2 attackers. Tregenza gets it across to McDermott. Too easy, McDermott. Down towards half forward. It's a 3-on-1 situation. Schwartz can just lay it off. It was pretty well played by Hollow. Just kept moving him around, but eventually he still goes to Bone. Bone was one of the men cruising past with Rowe. So Bone, we've been very impressed with his game.
But what about the lack of pressure as McDermott just waltzed around 3 St Kilda players in the middle of the ground? If they continue this performance, it's going to be a long, long finish to the year for the Saints.
Bone from inside the 50. He's got 2. Make that 3. 17-15, 6-13.
He's been an impressive player, Randall Bone. Look at this for pressure. A couple of players there, not running at the body. Swert takes a pretty good mark. Another player coming in for the Crows who's putting his hand up for a finals berth. And that's the value of a left foot getting around the hands of the player on the mark.
Three goals in the opening 7 minutes of the last quarter. And the Crows looking for a percentage booster here. Schwert goes out of the middle. Davenport has it taken away by Hart. And a long kick by Hart. A push out, no.
A dive.
Modra fought on and kicked towards the boundary line. Here's Rice. Shanahan. Centres the ball. This needs to be pinpoint. And the mark taken by O'Brien. Kicked 2 goals in the 3rd quarter. Kicked by Craig O'Brien towards the outer side. Heppel. Young boy in his debut game. Kick not quite to Harvey. He had to go blindly over his head. Dwyer back to Heppel. Just a step too much again. Here he goes once more. Whistle's gone. It's coming back. Free kick, Dean Anderson. Kick by Anderson to centre half forward. Lowe is there. Man in front takes the mark. Chiming in O'Brien. And still Stewie Lowe has taken just 3 marks for the day. 10 possessions. The weed every time he goes to it. Weed is the call from the crowd here at Football Park. Sounds quite daunting when there's 46,000 of them. O'Brien's kick not bad into the breeze. He got distance from 50, just didn't have the accuracy.
That attendance of 46,660 has got to be right up there with the best we've had at Football Park, I think, Drew. Not sure what the record is, but this is pretty close, I think.
Well,
it's Jamison.
Well, it's capacity anyway. You'd need to have a few freebies and a few crawling over the fence to break the record.
Yeah, we're probably talking a few hundred either way. This is Bickley at half back. Bickley goes long towards the wing. Bone goes up, almost took it to Rashudo in the grass, but spills free. Hollow comes away. Kicks inside the 50. It's a poor kick, though. Wren keeps it in front, controlled it well. Tregenza away to Pittman, back to Tregenza. Tregenza runs through the middle, kicks to half forward. The mark is held by Jarman. Rowe is on. He doesn't see him, though. Instead, he goes looking for Hodges. Well, he does a lot of that, and that time he was paid. Hodges paid the mark about, I suppose, 45 metres from goal.
Jarman once again getting in front of Devonport.
Oh, that's a mark.
What did he miss, Jarman? A quarter and a half? 19 possessions? It's handy, isn't he?
Well, this is the sort of game that really suits him, I think, too. A lot of pressure on, and he's so creative. Here's Hodges from 50, right on the 50, and right on line. Hodges has 5. And it's 18-15 to 6-14.
Prior to today, he kicked just 10 goals this year. He was their leading goal kicker last year with 48, but he's taken his tally this year from 10 to 15 in one game.
And he's done it quite impressively too. A couple of good leads. Could have had a few more of his shots at goal. He'll be quite happy with his performance.
4 goals to nothing in this quarter, and you'd have to think there's a lot more to come. Jarman goes back to Bickley. Oh, Liptak, 30 metres in the clear. They've got behind the defence. Rowe over his head. Modra, the spoil came. How did they get a goal out of that? It was because of Frawley's spoil. It goes to Harvey. Wren works his way to the front. They'll have another chance. Jarman, short pass, Liptak. But well done by Taylor to work his way to the front. Short pass, Heppel, just behind centre wing. Kick by Heppel. Weed comes from behind. There he goes. Look out. Another one of those from Fish Creek in Victoria. And that out on the bounce, and we'll have a throw in.
Actually, in State of Origin, Fish Creek would have a great half-back line, wouldn't they?
Stanfield? Who's the other one?
Just a local fella. That's good enough. Throw it in right on the 50. Taylor kicks it straight up in the air. A lot of courage shown by O'Brien, and well, a compassionate umpire. He's paid the mark. I doubt it went the distance, but a great effort by O'Brien. This is Heppel getting a few possessions now. Devonport at centre half back through the middle. Here comes Lowe. Couldn't hang on. Oh, clever by Pittman. Got it back to Lee, who boots to half forward, and Bone. And he's very much a one-grab player, is Randall Bone. Makes them look easy. That ball tumbling in. It wasn't coming in the conventional drop punt mode, but he managed to control it pretty well.
And we'll have a look at him on camera marking the Faulkner. Crows elect to use that football over here at Football Park. Most footballs, I'm sure, would elect to go with the Sharon.
He likes the Faulkner.
Yes, it's got the carry. It's a goal. Consumer Affairs. It's 19-15 to 6-14.
Most impressive performance by Randall Bone. Continues to improve in his development. And Pittman's had a pretty good game at centre half-back. Stewie Lowe quiet. He's followed him to all parts of the countryside today. Been quite effective.
5 goals to Bone, 5 to Hodges, and we have 5 to Modra. Who's going to win the goal-kicking contest today? Anderson out of the middle for the Saints. Rasciuto can't take the mark. Shaw made a terrific start to the game. Not sure that he's kept it going, but he's had 20 possessions. Damon Shaw in just his 5th game of senior football.
His execution, though, Drew, is what's impressive, isn't it? He's full of class, as Dennis indicated earlier in the piece.
Big pack Bingham. First back there is Rowe. Keen to have a run. Plenty of time on the bench today. Kilda free kick. Crow's free kick, rather, to Rowe. And he goes out to McDermott. The kick out to Bickley at centre wing. Can he keep it in? Heppel with him. Free kick. Oh, I didn't need it. Tregenza comes inboard. The hand pass is good. McDermott had kept going. Beats a man easily. Thumps it long. Hodges at the back. Went to ground. Shanahan the mark.
Jamie Shanahan. Little short pass. Harvey. His 34th possession. Got it to Devonport. Now Dwyer alongside the centre circle. Terrible kick. Wobbles down towards centre half forward. Pittman. Come back in style today. Schwert. Forward of half-back, a runner inside. He gets it across. Rasciuto growing in stature with every game. He kicks inside the 50. Modra spilled it. Well, that was pretty easy by his standards. Liptak under no pressure. Pulls it back. It's floating on the breeze. Hodges. Oh, good mark. Very good mark. Body to body with Shanahan. He was certainly favoured by the drift of the ball on the breeze, but even so, he showed plenty of grit to go back and find it on the second occasion. So a chance to post his 6th. Point blank range. The 6th of the quarter for the Adelaide Crows.
And another good performance across half-back from Pittman, who took the mark, got the ball there, down to Rasciuto. And that should have been swallowed by Modra. If he loses the goal kicking, that's why. Liptak around the corner. Perhaps he was looking at goals also. But a good mark there from Scott Hodges. Clearly outpoints Shanahan.
Pretty handy lead now. 85 points. Let's get the goal kickers right. Hodges 6, Modra 5, Bone 4 for the Crows. Lockett kicked 2 for St Kilda. Left the ground halfway through the second quarter and has gone to hospital. It's been all the Crows in this last quarter. Here's Jarman. Hurriedly boot the ball. Lee. Oh, Rowe. 15 metres in the clear. Steers it low. Modra.
Devonport's in big trouble behind play. I think he's torn a groin muscle. He's just about hobbling off the ground now.
Here goes Devonport to be replaced by Pekin. At the other end of the ground, Tony Modra shooting for his 6th. Beautiful kick. That's 7 goals to nothing in this last quarter. Modra mania is rife here at Footy Park. And you'd like their chances of kicking about a dozen, the Crows, in this last half hour.
Yes, I think we underestimated them when we predicted 10 because there's only one side playing pressure football out there at the moment. The Crows are attacking the ball. The Saints are just allowing them to come through. It's a sorry sight for St Kilda supporters.
I've overestimated the Saints. Back in the middle. Down goes O'Brien. Should have got a free. Rice has got the ball. Advantage is paid, so the free kick was awarded, and Rice was out by himself on the wing. He chips it down towards half forward, and Lowe takes the mark. Well, we talked about a shootout from the full forwards today. It's worked that way, actually. Hodges and Modra. This is Shaw, squares the ball. O'Brien gets around Pittman. He's right on the 50. Tries to punch it up towards goal. Hasn't got the carry. Smart knocks it down in front. Whitterman did very well to use his body, but fumbled the ball. Grant went to ground. Smart to Wren. Wren is simply so cool. Gets it across to Rashudo, who boots it towards the outside. Jarman knew something about that bounce. He read the book. He kicks inside the 50. Modra comes on the lead. End-to-end stuff at Football Park. And the Saints have known some black days this season. I, for one, thought they'd make the finals. I know some people doubted it. They were good judges, as it turns out, but I don't think they've had too many darker days than this one. They are really having their collective noses rubbed in the dirt. Modra going at number 7. The 22nd is on the board. Dia.
Wasn't a great kick from Tony Modra, but got the full result. But it was a great passage of play from Adelaide. There's its birth down on the full-back line. Once again, Red involved, as was Smart. Rashudo with a tumbling kick that Jarman read better than anyone. And he went bang down the middle. Terrific pass to Modra. Finished off with a goal.
This is an absolute belting here at Football Park. They've done it to plenty of teams before. St Kilda shouldn't feel too hardly done by. McDermott to Rowe, straight up the middle. Hodges got a fingertip to it. Here comes Modra, unselfishly back to Liptak. Here's another one.
Come on.
Well, that Rowe show, it's really firing now, isn't it? Easily out of the centre once again by Adelaide. And everybody's getting in part of the action. The problem, of course, is when there's that little pressure, the half-forward line can start cheating and just running towards goal. Watch Rowe get the ball out. Over the top. Hodges couldn't grab the ball. Unselfish play from Modra, sets Liptak up. And this is embarrassing.
That's 9 goals for the quarter and 9.5 minutes left.
This time it's Bickley. The good mark is taken by Taylor. Across he goes. Heppel. Ken Sheldon has known some heat during the course of this season. It's not going to get any cooler. This is Dwyer on the outer side wing towards half forward. Big Everett. 23-15 to 6-14, so they've added a behind the Saints in this term as Everett goes long down towards full forward. Lowe is there. Knocked away by Pittman. Rashudo. No pressure on. Shaw had to get up off the ground and chase him. This is Lee. Scott Lee bouncing it out of defence, looking downfield, nothing on offer. Jarman wants it wide. Lee pulls it back towards the middle. Great vision. Rowe to Bickley. Hodges one way, Modra the other. It spells double trouble. Liptak has the ball inside the 50. Liptak steadies, was pushed in the back and probably should have got a free because the push altered the kick and it tumbled out of bounds in the pocket. Max Stevens down on the boundary. What have you got to report?
Craig Devonport has a groin strain, won't take any further part. Now, someone else from the Adelaide Crows has told me that Tony McGuinness, in fact, is injured and has a groin injury as well.
Well, they look pretty happy with things on the Crows bench. They lead by 103 points. Ball is just out of bounds and we'll have a throw in. Well, the Crows this year, they beat Richmond by 94 points in the first round of the season. But apart from that, their next biggest win has been by 46. So they're going to have their biggest win of the season here today by the looks against the Saints. Rice shares it away with Dwyer. Hollow. Off the side. Wiedemann, he was playing on, he's decked. The umpire comes in and will ball it up.
Well, it must be said that the signs weren't looking too good for St Kilda. A little bit of political turmoil during the week. Rick Watt, their general manager, was, some say, pushed aside. And those things certainly don't help footballers concentrate on the job at hand.
Everett wins the hit out, but it goes straight to Rashudo. In a bit of traffic, McDermott, but look at his vision. Now through it goes, well, Hart to Bickley, now to Rowe, into Jarman. Jarman approaching 25 possessions, bounces it for a goal! Up behind. Well, he's bounced one already today for a goal. Nearly made it a double. In this quarter, it is 9 goals, 2-1 behind.
Ball kicked in, Members side, hard up in front, misses it. Everett got the hand pass off. Lee over the ball, dragged off it. Hollow. Wiedemann's got it and in trouble. Everett, well done. Got it to Harvey. He chips it in short. This is O'Brien, forward of the centre circle. He kicks inside the attacking 50. Back goes low and takes the mark about 25 metres out. Well, I've gone for the record book. 56 points so far in this term for Adelaide, their best ever last term. 63 points against Richmond in round 1 of this season. Their best ever quarter since they joined the AFL, 68 points. That was back in 91. That was in round 24 against North Melbourne on this ground. 68 points then, the best they've done, and there's a chance they could break that this afternoon. Meantime, Lowe gets a goal at the other end for the Saints. 23-16 to 7-14.
That's Stewie Lowe's first goal for the day. So if the Saints were looking for a replacement on the forward line for Lockett, they've missed out with Stewie Lowe, who's struggled a bit. He's taken 5 marks, 12 possessions, 1 goal.
And he hasn't been on his own because the Saints have struggled in all positions. Robert Harvey, of course, has picked up a ton of possessions, 35 in all at the present time.
Everett did all right to flip that ball over his head, but once again the Crows have it. Rowe back to Wiedemann. High climb by Grant. Good mark. Greeted with silence. Back to Shanahan. Centre wing Burke. Kicked by Nathan Burke. To Lowe. That's more like a firm grip on that one. To centre half forward. All Adelaide. Or Wren. Off hands to Hodges. To Jamison. Now Smart on the run. He's done this a few times today. Here's pass to Jarman. Geez, what beautiful hands, Andrew Jarman. He's missed a quarter and a half. This will be his 25th disposal. Breeze at his back and slightly right to left.
And Hodges indicating, go back and have a shot at goal, Andrew. You've set up enough for this quarter. See if he can put one through.
This could be the Crows' 10th goal of this last term. Won't make it. Big lead by Hart and thumped through by Shanahan.
Think about some of those backyard games when they were growing up as kids. The Jarman brothers, they would have been worth the price of admission. Great skills, both of them. Saw his brother yesterday in action for Hawthorn, one of the best on the ground, and despite a cameo performance this afternoon, we've seen Andrew Jarman really used to good effect on the forward line. Schwertz sends it in once more for the Crows, and Dowie runs it across the line. So a throw in, 23-17, 155 to 7-14-56. Jared made the point before about percentage, and that will be important. And Adelaide have really pressed on here this afternoon. Mind you, the opposition has been less than spirited, although this man has given his all. Whoops. Having said that, Harvey.
What a day it's been at St Kilda.
Even the very good ones have problems, and that's in keeping with the team's performance this afternoon. There's the time remaining, and they've taken it from 14-14 to 23-18 so far in this term. It's repeating 68 points, their best ever quarter in the AFL, the Adelaide Crows, so it'll be nip and tuck.
Wiedemann on all fours after that one. He's relishing a chance to get a run on the ground in this last term. Schwert back to Lee. Bit of a fumble. He had time. Back to Schwert. And where's he been all season? This is 28 disposals for Schwert in his first game for the Crows for the year. Mora! For all he got a fist to it. Comes to Anderson. Lip tack still a show. Lip tack. Jarman still a show. Yes, Rowe. That's 10. It was a throw. I'm getting excited about the 10 goals for the quarter. Actually, they kicked their 9th about 6 minutes ago.
An offensive kick, not a particularly good one. Everett. O'Brien. He's been lively since he's come onto the ground. Harvey does well, gets it to Dwyer. Rice, still with the record book. I think the Crows have only had 2 10-goal terms in their history. They're looking closely at their third. This is Pekin, meantime, with other ideas across the goal face, but quite often it's very dangerous down this end of the ground for the opposition because so many of the goals are made from that end, working the ball virtually the full length of the ground. Not all that cold here at Football Park, but some feel it more than others. Thrown in, Pittman knocks it forward. Here's Shaw, pulls it back, good effort from there. Smart got a hand to it, deflects it to his own advantage, and in position A, he was held without it, and he'll get the free kick in the back pocket. The clock continues to run, 23:18 to 7:14.
Marvellous play that was by Nigel Smart. McDermott takes the mark, finds Bickley. Zigzagging out of defence. Over the head of Schwert. Harvey. Bowie. Good tackle. Gets rid of it. They're on the run now. Shaw gets it on. Everett up towards the goal square. It's punched away. Still a chance for the Saints. Pekin. Back he goes. Burke beats a man. Short pass. He might have gone for goal, but Everett has the chance. Well, he can just play on and put it through. He does. Have you ever seen a more thrilling goal than that?
It's probably be worth 3 points, that one.
So Stewie Lowe and Everett have kicked goals in this last quarter. And would you believe some of the Crows fans are trying to beat the traffic, and they're not staying for the final nail in this coffin.
Well, this goal does defy description, so we won't bother. Back in the centre, Big Everett will attempt to lessen Sean Wren's dominance.
7 Sports scoreboard, 23:18 to 8:14. Wren gets it down. Harvey still going. O'Brien boots inside the attacking 50. From behind, Smart. Oh, well done by Lowe. Weight of numbers tells the story, though. Smart comes away. Well read down the ground by Everett. 52 metres out. Bacon goal square, goes for home, but it drifts on the breeze and bounces out of bounds in the right full forward pocket. So Hodges has 6 goals this afternoon, shaded by Tony Modra. He's got 7. Randall Bone has 4. And when you've got key forwards doing that, with Liptak weighing in with a couple and being very lively and giving them plenty of run, that's a recipe for a resounding success, and they're going to have that. Shaw to Harvey. Harvey pops it up and kicks it behind. So what's the printout on Robert Harvey? 25 kicks and 14 hand passes. Well, he started rather slowly by his standards, had a very good second term, and he's gone on with that.
A minute to go, and the Crows, who kicked 9 for the term, with still 9 minutes left, haven't added. So will they get their 10 for the term? Wiedemann, Tregenza, confident as Dennis Cometti. Tregenza, balks, he's in trouble. They've lost it. Grant palms it down. Heppel couldn't get boot to ball. Schwert grabbed him when he didn't have it, said the umpire. Free kick to Heppel. 23:18 to 8 goals 15. The margin got to over 100, but it's under the ton now. Stewie Lowe from centre half forward. Gave it his best shot. Not long enough. And Smart sees the ball out, not even happy to concede a point. It'll be a throw-in. Well, I'm sure the fans will be disappointed that they didn't really go on, and then the last 8 or 9 minutes kick 5 or 6 more. Wren. Oh, he says, I'll do it myself. Out of defence, over half-back. The weed. Caught. Tregenza. There might be a chance yet, Dan. I'll give it to you.
Here's Jarman, not wishing it on the Saints. McDermott gets it across to Hart, who boots it, and it just misses. No, it won't count. The siren had gone before he kicked the ball, so the final scoreline is 23:18, 156. To St Kilda, 8:15, 63. And down in front of us, there's a standing ovation in the members' stand for what was a pretty good performance in tricky conditions because of the breeze. It was a strong breeze. It wasn't easy for the players, but the longer it went, a nice feature there too is that McGuinness, who is limping slightly, goes out to shake the hand of Danny Frawley playing his 200th game. McGuinness came off at 3/4 time. But Frawley, with little to smile about, this group certainly had has plenty to smile about. Tony Modra finished the day with 7 goals, but he lost some ground to the mercurial Gary Ablett, who again yesterday put on a marvellous performance for Geelong in a losing cause against Melbourne. Max Stevens is down there on the ground with Scott Lee. Max?
Scott, firstly, congratulations. And I mean, your form over the last couple of weeks, you're getting that whisker older, but you're playing like an 18-year-old.
Oh, I don't feel very old, so just still good to get a kick, and the boys are starting to play really well. I'm looking forward to the rest of the year.
I noticed at three-quarter time, Graham Corns making the point about the percentage. Very important for you today.
Oh, it's definitely like, you know, the game's reasonably well sewn up at three-quarter time, and when you look at the table, we do need a bit of percentage, but we just got to play the game out the way it comes.
Well, the two-pronged forward line today, Modra and Hodges, a great effort.
Yeah, worked very well. They were starting to work well together. They've worked reasonably well through the year, but it's just starting to get a lot better now, and the boys delivering the ball pretty well to them.
And next week, Richmond, I mean, you've only got, 5 days rest?
Yeah, 5 days rest, but that's two less days we have to wait to get to them.
Okay, Tony McGuinness, understand that he's got a slight groin strain. Is that the case?
Well, I'm not sure about Tony. He played reasonably well today, but you know, he's on top of it, I think. You know.
And one other guy we have to give a rap to, Andrew Jarman. I mean, the last couple of weeks he's been under quite a bit of pressure. Today he came on in that second quarter and just blitzed.
Yeah, he's been under a lot of pressure from media and all that sort of stuff, but he handles it pretty well, and he's answered it a bit today.
Pretty tough, those media blokes, aren't they?
Yes, they're pretty ruthless and not much brain, some of them.
Okay, mate, thanks very much, Scott Lee. Well done today.
That's the light-hearted question, and that's what happens, you see, Max.
That'll teach you for tipping St Kilda.
He was looking straight at you. So the margin 93 points for the Adelaide Crows as we take a look at the match stats.
And you'd expect them to be dominated by the Crows. Well, they're doing kicks and handballs. Slightly in front of marks. They're down in centre breaks, which was probably St Kilda's only winning area. You'd have to say that on a positive side, Damon Shaw was a particularly good player for St Kilda under difficult circumstances. Robert Harvey performed well. He was against McGuinness and probably just had the better of him. Of course, McGuinness off in the last quarter. And Martin Heppel, we have to feel sorry for a young fellow making his debut under those circumstances.
Okay, well, that was the position. A very comfortable win here to the Adelaide Crows over St Kilda. Now, some stations taking a replay of the game from the MCG. If you don't wish to know the score, look away now. Next week, Adelaide and Richmond on Saturday. Melbourne, Hawthorn, St Kilda, Geelong, Fitzroy against Carlton and Collingwood against Footscray. 2 games on the Sunday, Brisbane and North and Essendon and West Coast. Hope you've enjoyed the action from Football Park.
This has been a 7 Sports production.